the teams are out around the country for the 4 matches. We will keep you right up to date on events elsewhere. But for now, it is live commentary from Ibrox Stadium. Rangers against Hearts with Kenny Miller and Paul Mitchell.
Thank you, Richard. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Ibrox Stadium in Glasgow, where a large poppy is being marched off the field with members of the Armed Forces Remembrance Day around Ibrox Way. And it has been very classy indeed. 11 minutes silence beautifully observed by everybody here. And as the colour party depart down the tunnel, referee John Beaton has both teams together. And it will be Ryan Kent who will kick off for Rangers. Rangers from right to left. Rangers one change from the weekend. Rabbi Matondo in for Fashion Sakala. Hearts making a couple of changes. George Grant unable to play, suspended. Hearts didn't win that appeal. We're underway here at Ibrox on what could be a very big evening as Snodgrass picks up, plays the ball down the side. King goes across onto his right-hand side, chips it back to McGregor, edge of the 6-yard box, passes it away from Ginnelly. Back out wide onto King. King launches it long over the halfway line. Rolls is there, little cushion header inside onto Devlin on the chest, but he's robbed by Tillman. Tillman plays the ball through Ryan Kent up at the edge of the area. Kent has to take a touch, drag the ball back into the middle. Here's the chance for Tillman, doesn't take the shot, and it's Atkinson who gets it away. Well, he had to take a swing at that. The ball comes back here for Hearts. It's on to Smith. Smith gets the ball clear. Only as far as Barisic. Barisic sends it forward, headed away by Smith. Shanklin gets a touch into the centre circle. King hits it off Lundstrom. Brings the ball back onto Tavernier. And Tavernier drops it inside. Ben Davis back out wide. On to Tavernier on the halfway line. Tavernier long on the angle. Tillman slipped. Hearts can get the ball away. Breaks back onto Sand. Sand will send a header out wide onto Ryan Kent outside the area. Kent against Atkinson, tries to get the cross in. Atkinson blocks him, then wins the ball, turns the ball back onto Smith. That's good defending. The ball played away. Sands will try and touch it inside, and the ball just gets headed out of play by Ben Davis. Kenny Riller, former Scotland international, alongside me. Tillman had to take the shot, am I right?
Yeah, he should have again. I've seen that a few times over the weeks. Rangers players turning shots down for good positions, and what a start it could have been. Hearts just turned the ball over in the middle of the pitch. Tillman releases Kent. You're wanting him to go 1v1, but he attracts players towards him, releases Tillman on the edge of the box, and you ever think everyone 50,000 in the stadium are just saying pull the trigger. He decides to try and drag it, gets it all wrong, and the attack was gone.
Bright start for Rangers. Barisic plays the ball across to King. King at the edge of his own area, moves it forward. Hearts not closing him down, so there's space for Leon King to come to the edge of the area. Gathers the ball onto Tavernier. Tavernier plays it back once more onto King, up towards the centre circle. Ball just being nursed on the right foot. Hearts not closing him down. Ball past Snodgrass into Cholak. Cholak sends it out wide. Matondo is there, pulls it back Tavernier halfway line. Now sends the ball down the side. Hearts tried to get in there. Halliday working hard. Come all the way back again onto Alex Cochrane. Cochrane down the line. Shanklin tries to bring in Snodgrass. Snodgrass battling just a little bit too much for the referee's taste. That's a free kick on the halfway line. Rangers, Alan McGregor in goal. The back four, Tavernier, King, Davis and Barisic. It's Lundstrom, Tillman and Sands, the midfield trio. Matondo, Cholak and Kent. Ball comes out to Barisic inside his own half, passes over the halfway line onto Ryan Kent. Short sleeve shirt, black gloves. Tries to step away from Atkinson. Atkinson just pushed him and won the ball. Rangers thought they were going to get a free kick. Didn't do so, but they've won the ball again. Cholak, 30 yards from goal, out wide. Matondo up at the edge of the area, does a step over, trying to get the ball past Cochrane. Low and touched away well. Kai Rolls knocks it out of play on that far side. Devlin, though, just kept it in. Tried to win a throw. Ball has gone out of play. Devlin, though, was the last player to get the touch. Rangers are looking quite lively.
Yeah, they are. It's kissed a couple of times now. Kent's been on the ball in a wide area. Atkinson's working ever so hard. Hearts look like they're playing a 4-4-1-1 system here. And it's really interesting to say that Shanklin's not the one that's highest up the field. They're leaving Ginnelly up. Clearly, they're going to be looking to use his pace to stretch the game in these turnover moments. And in that situation there, he was waiting on the shoulder to be released.
Rangers have won a corner. Will be taken on that far side. Tavernier, Tillman makes a run, nobody's tracking him, it's long, it's high into the area. Hearts get the header outside the box, breaks back for Barisic, 35 yards from goal, brings it down, plays it across to Davis, back to Barisic, and all the way back to King, centre circle, jabs a little one forward, Sands sends it out wide, Matondo is there, races for the ball, keeps it in by the corner flag, pulls it back for Tavernier. Tavernier's cross is a long high looping one, it will fall outside the box on the left hand side. Barisic goes in, that's a decent ball in, and Hearts managed to get her away through Snodgrass, but Rangers just wait to pick it up and to come again. Early pressure from the home side, 0-0 here. No goals across the game, so I'll tell you as soon as the ball hits the back of the net. Tillman on to Barisic. Barisic lays the ball back on to Ben Davis. Davis, ball back on the left foot, forward on to Barisic. Barisic to Tillman, 30 yards from goal. There's a little touch and turn. Hearts bite early through Rolls. Rolls gets it on to Snodgrass. Snodgrass sends it long. Here's Ginnelly. Ginnelly's going to be up against McGregor. McGregor couldn't get there. Ginnelly goes in. It's blocked by Davis, and the ball goes up and goes behind. It will be a corner. Well, real action here at Ibrox. Ginnelly, just as Kenny Miller pointed out, he's the focal point for Hearts. He raced through. McGregor got enough of a touch, but required Davis to make the final clearance.
Yeah, I think Alan McGregor just did enough. He was quick enough off his line to put Ginnelly off. He was straight through, exactly what we said there. They turned the ball over. Immediately, Ginnelly's off. I think it was Snodgrass that played the pass through. A wonderful pass through. Alan McGregor off his line. Danger for Rangers in these moments.
Snodgrass with the corner. Hearts first of the game. 5.5 minutes gone. Snodgrass plays it in. They're queuing up for it. McGregor tries to come, punches the ball, breaks down. Chance Shankland, it's blocked out just about 3 yards off the line, and the referee saw something he didn't like. It's certainly not offside. The flag isn't up, and Alan McGregor gets the ball from behind the goal, and the referee says, hang on, play that back. Hearts weren't set, neither was the ball on that far side. That was not a good moment for Rangers.
Yeah, it was not. You know, just in that you could see it. We touched on it pre-game. How would Hearts set up? Would they go all out? Would they try and press high? Would they try and put Rangers under pressure? Or would they try and sit in, soak it up, frustrate? Well, you can see exactly what's going to go on. They're going to sit in. Shankland's going to drop in as that one just off Ginnelly, going to get onto James Sands. They're going to sit deep, they're going to defend, and in those moments when there's half a pitch to hit, Josh Ginnelly's going to absolutely stretch this game with the pace that he's got. Really interesting encounter, how this will unfold.
Long ball by Rangers. Coming in there was Cochrane. Cochrane wins it to Devlin. Devlin, lovely little touch to get out wide onto Michael Smith over the halfway line past Atkinson. Shankland tried to get there, but Sands was there over the halfway line onto Kent. Smith got in a little touch, and that was enough for Hearts. Hearts into Devlin. Devlin got taken down by Sands. The referee was there, said Sands won the ball. Hearts' Robbie Nielsen looks puzzled down below as Rangers come forward, play the ball out to Kent. Kent lays the ball back onto John Lundstrom. Lundstrom onto Barisic. Barisic runs into Michael Smith, so has to go back again. Kent has it. Kent plays it on to Sands. Rangers inside the Hearts half on the left hand side. They're going to go back to the halfway line. Devlin just leaves a little bit on Sands, and as King has the ball, he's going to chip it out onto this near side, onto Kent, brought down on the thigh. Kent cuts away from Smith, he's into the area, great ball across, good interception. Hearts, Toby Sibic got there and sent it away, and Ginnelly being told by his manager, don't chase that one, you're not going to get there. Barisic will gather, and it's now halfway line. Leon King 0-0 here. Lively start, Sports Sound on a Wednesday evening. Ben Davis looks up, sees what his options are, plays it back onto Leon King. An 8th consecutive start for the 18-year-old. Forward it goes, but Rolls intercepts, drops it onto Snodgrass. Out wide onto Halliday, back onto Cochrane. Snodgrass sends it wide. It's a poor ball, but he'll get the ball back. It's now with Andy Halliday. Halliday chips it down the side, but Ginnelly not in a good position, and the ball will run all the way through to the edge of the Rangers area.
Yeah, but you can see what he's trying to do again. He's just went too early. He's actually saying to Andy Halliday he should have played it earlier, but Andy never even had the ball. He had already moved, but I'll tell you, had he just timed his run better, he's got that whole half of a pitch to run into.
Matondo plays it in, hits it straight off Cochrane, breaks back onto Tavernier. His cross takes a deflection, it goes behind. Corner kick to Rangers. Hearts with Craig Gordon in goal. It's Atkinson, Smith, Rolls and Cochrane. Sibic, Devlin, Snodgrass and Halliday trying to occupy those midfield 4 places. And it's been really interesting so far. Rangers have their second corner of the game. Tavernier will play it in Cholak trying to break his way free, comes in deflected, Sands with the header. Great little effort there by Craig Gordon to come and get it. It was hooked in the air by Cochrane. He just got in front of Cholak at the edge of the 6-yard box. It was a very important touch by Alex Cochrane.
It absolutely was. So it looked like Cholak was just going to touch this into the goal. I mean, it's interesting, Paul. You're seeing Hearts the way they set up the corner. They're going that zonal approach. There's a lot of blue jerseys standing free. So you're just wondering, is there a way that Rangers could work something to pull that? What they done that time, I think it was Lundstrom gets across the front and Cholak was there sniffing around about in the middle of the 6-yard box. It was a wonderful touch for Cochrane. Definitely preventing an almost guaranteed goal for Cholak.
Not been in the best of goal-scoring forms, Antonio Cholak, the German Croat. Well, he's 1-7 when he was hunting there. The ball is played out wide onto Ryan Kent, outside the area, left-hand side, up against Atkinson. Steps in, he's trying to open up to shoot, but Devlin robs him at the edge of the area. That's what Cammy Devlin does, forward onto Shanklin. Shanklin gathered, trying to hold on the ball. Sands is with him. Shanklin's got no help at all from any Hearts player, so he's going to hook it forward. It's a great ball through onto Ginnelly. Ginnelly has King on his shoulder, just outside the box, right-hand side. Ginnelly takes the touch, moves back towards the halfway line and on to Smith, and Smith will play the ball all the way across onto Civic. Civic will gather. Snodgrass makes himself available and they'll be gathered once more. Hearts trying to build slowly. Atkinson back onto Snodgrass. Snodgrass will use Craig Gordon. Gordon first time touch onto Toby Civic. Civic will launch it forward again, looking for that run of Ginnelly. This time Davis nonchalantly sticks out the left boot, gathers, drops it down onto James Sands, the American international player. Drops the ball across onto Tavernier, out wide. Matondo, the Welsh internationalist, does well, drops his shoulder, got past Cochrane, plays it out wide. Chance for the ball to come in. Michael Smith will have to meet that for Hearts, and he launches it long into the stand on the far side. Tillman had made a good run, so too had Kent, and Michael Smith dealt with that on that occasion.
Good play for Matondo though. It's his first real involvement in the game. Goes past Cochrane, puts a good ball in there for Cholak. I mean, I think Lundstrom started really positively for me. I know it's not really been too much on the ball, but he's making a lot of good forward runs from that kind of more advanced position in midfield, dragging players with him, freeing Ryan Kent's, freeing Matondo's on the other side.
Kent picks up outside the area, drags the ball back, steps it, plays it back onto Barisic, left foot, long curling ball. Matondo goes chasing after it. That might be too long. He's just going to catch it, plays the ball back to Tavernier. That was good play from Rangers. 0-0 Hearts and Rangers, 0-0 Motherwell Celtic, 0-0 St Mirren St Johnstone and Dundee United Kilmarnock, as the ball is run out of play. But there has been the first goal. It's come at Tannadice. John Rankin.
Yes, first goal at Tannadice tonight, and it's for Dundee United. It comes for a throw inside the Dundee United half. It's dubious. A Kilmarnock player goes to the ball and Biek just puts his foot through it. Finds its way over the top of the Kilmarnock defence. They hesitate in the way back, and Kieran Freeman finds himself one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He slots it low past Zach Hemmings, so it's 1-0 Dundee United.
Thanks, John. First goal of the season. Well, Freeman is Hearts now send the ball forward. That's the opening goal of the night here on BBC Radio Scotland. We've played 12 minutes here at Ibrox. Ball gets sent forward. So great buzz around this stadium tonight. Cholak lays the ball off. Devlin, flag is up. Just going a little bit too early. It's a fascinating tactical game at the moment, Kenny, with the way you've described how Ginnelly's playing and Lundstrom's making a little bit of space as well. Yeah, there is, and both teams have had success early doors. I mean, Lundstrom is running inside, but more dangerous off the left side is of Rangers play, running in between Civic and Smith, dragging Smith inside, which freeing Ryan Kent up and allowing him to get ahead of steam to go either at Smith or Atkinson, who's doubling back up. But equally he's doing it on the other side. But Ginnelly, we've seen 2-3 times looking a real threat on the transition moments. Ball played forward by Hearts. Snodgrass has it. Snodgrass tackled by Tillman right in front of the referee. Tillman then lands on Snodgrass. That looked like a free kick, but Rangers will get it through Lundstrom, and Lundstrom overhits Kent, comes onto this near side. Smith plays the ball down the line, and Hearts have it through Josh Ginnelly. Hasn't scored since his first appearance of the season. He's given the ball away there, trying to return it, but Leon King, untroubled, just takes a touch at the edge of the area. Back onto McGregor. Tavernier sends it across his own penalty area. Davis onto Barisic back inside, onto Sands. That midfield role tonight almost ran into Shanklin. Has to play the ball back onto Davis. Davis will clip it out into that far side. Matondo's had to come all the way back deep inside his own half to get it. Cochrane goes in against him. That is going to be a Rangers throw. Cochrane knocking it out of play. It's a fascinating battle between Ravi Matondo and Alex Cochrane. Rangers have played it quickly. It is Matondo who's coming in. Atkinson makes the challenge, but the ball breaks away. Tillman out to the edge of the area, onto Ryan Kent, inside on the right boot. Smith saw what was coming and made the block. And then the challenge from Matondo is an illegal one on Andy Halliday. Free kick. Robert Snodgrass goes across to John Beaton to say, when the player fell on top of me, how was that not a foul, ref?
Well, you know what, Paul? I don't think it was a foul. I think he's dwelling on the ball, and it's 4 times now the Hearts players. 3 for Devlin and 1 for Snodgrass. They're taking too long on the middle of the pitch. Sands is nicking, snapping. Lundstrom snapping in there to win the ball back. I just think he's got caught on the ball, and then when he's went down, it's a battle who wins it. The Rangers player won it in the break. Hearts need to be cleaner in the middle of the pitch to set these transition moments up.
Robert Snodgrass doesn't agree with Kenny Miller because he's still complaining to the referee.
He's too slow now. He's getting older now, Paul.
No, it's called experience, Kenny. It's called
Correct.
Experience.
Correct.
Hasn't scored in a couple of seasons, but he is such a danger, Robert Snodgrass.
New position for him as well. They're playing in that kind of central area of the pitch.
He's going to have to do a fair old shift in there. Hearts play it long, headed away by Davis, turned back round the corner by Devlin. Rangers have it inside their own half. Kent beats one in Devlin, but not Smith. Smith plays it to Devlin. Now on to Snodgrass. Snodgrass plays it through onto Shanklin. Good movement from Hearts at Shanklin. Too many players to go past, and a lovely slide by Sands to get the ball over the halfway line onto Ryan Kent. Ball on the right foot, moving from left to right. Will play it out wide. Matondo is there. Lundstrom's on the overlap. That's where the ball goes. Kyle Rose is out there. Forces him back to Matondo. Tavernier, always the out ball on that right flank. Has it. Little pass inside onto Sands. Rangers midway inside the Hearts half. Picked up through Tavernier. Tavernier plays it across all the way to this near side. Tillman will chase. Try to keep it in. Can't do so. Motherwell 0. Celtic 1. Kyogo has scored for Celtic. Their top goal scorer. 11 now for the season. So Motherwell 0. Celtic 1. Kyogo on the score sheets. And that ripples round Ibrox will just make the home fans just a little bit more uncomfortable. Remember, you can hear that game live online. Pat Bonner and Lamont at Fir Park this evening. All driven by Hearts. Cochrane on to Halliday. Halliday, couple of goals at the weekend, played well. Snodgrass sends it looking for Ginnelli. Ginnelli seemed a little bit high in the challenge, and the referee decides to agree. And King makes nothing of it. There's a little pat on the back, and Rangers have the free kick. So on to Sands. Robbie Nielsen is on the shoulder of Stephen Kirkland, the 4th official. Never the best job in the world. Snodgrass plays the ball back onto Sibic. Sibic looks up. Sibic was a player with such a crisis of confidence. Hearts wouldn't even play him against Kilmarnock, and then all of a sudden they had to play him. What a difference he's made. Snodgrass gets that decision that time, but again, I can see what you mean, Kenny. It's taken a long time to move the ball, but that time Tillman.
And that is experience, by the way. Yeah. What he's done there, he's just positioned himself, his body between the ball and Tillman, and he's just felt the contact and went down. He knew he was under pressure. I just think that in the middle of the pitch there, I think Rangers can get a bit of success with Tillman, with Lundstrom, with Sands, just in there against Snodgrass and Devlin. I just think there's more legs in those Rangers players than there is in the Hearts team.
Hearts played it forward, long to the edge of the area, but Rangers have picked it up. It's 0-0, 17 minutes gone. Celtic lead by 1-0, as do Dundee United. Kieran Freeman with his first of the season, no goals. Not too far from us here at Ibrox at Paisley, the Battle of the Saints. That's a terrible back pass by Cochrane, and Craig Gordon had to race from his goal to deny Cholak. Now it's played forward up to the halfway line. Tillman goes up with Devlin, knocked down by Tavernier, picked up by Sands, hits it off the back of Snodgrass, goes back inside the Rangers half, and Tavernier will accept the throw in for Rangers on that far side.
It just had enough, that back pass, Paul. Just a yard slower, and I think Cholak would have been able to get on that.
It's one of these ones the defender will tell you just got it absolutely perfectly, and the goalkeeper certainly won't believe him. 0-0 here. Shanklin halfway line, knocks the ball through the legs of Sands. Sands then wins the ball. Shanklin thought it was a free kick. It wasn't. Sands now coming forward, plays it out wide onto Kent. Kent back into the middle. Chance for Rangers, blasted over by Lundstrom. 16 yards out, brought the ball onto his left foot, but couldn't find the target.
Yeah, good play again on the break. They turn the ball over in the middle of the pitch. This time it's Shanklin. He just gets body checked. I don't know if it's enough for a free kick. Would have been interesting if the ball had went in. Would VAR have a look at that? Because there was definitely a bit of contact there to stop Shanklin go for the ball. I don't think it was enough for a free kick. Rangers counter. They find Kent on the left, who picks out Loons from about 16 yards out, middle of the goal, and he just sweeps that ball over with his left foot. Seen him score those types of goals as well, Paul. He'll be disappointed he's not hit the target.
Absolutely, 8 goals in 71 appearances. I didn't think it was a free kick. I think Sands had the right to be there. Players simply cannot disappear. There's a couple of balls on the pitch, that's why there's a slight delay. And now Barisic throws it into Tillman, who again slips. It works for him though. He slipped and got past Snodgrass, but Devlin picks up, and then Devlin shanks the ball out of play.
See what he's trying to? He's trying to release Ginnelly straight away. First thought, can they get that ball over the top?
And that's forcing Rangers just to think how they mark Ginnelly. It's a bit different if you've got a striker that doesn't have the pace to come behind you, but Ginnelly's got it in spades.
It's crucial, Paul, how King and Davis do not lose concentration at any point tonight, because the one that was slid down the side earlier for Ginnelly, I think Davis has to defend that a little bit better. He must see that Smith was only one place he was going to go. He knows where Ginnelly wants to go because he's already shown him. He just has to defend that side. He has to defend the side better. King likewise on the other side. They have to be fully alert for that type of movement for Ginnelly.
Voice of Kenny Miller. Let's go across to Paisley. Martin Dowden is there. What's the latest, Martin?
Yeah, Paul, St Mirren 0, St Johnstone 0. Curtis Main perhaps coming closest with a low shot. That after Greg Kiltie picked him out after an absolute thump up the park by Declan Gallagher. Fairly balanced overall, few chances. St Johnstone did have one. Conor McLennan flashing a header just off target, but 50-50 I'd say, 0-0 here.
Thanks, Martin. Here, Rangers on the attack. Ball on the halfway line. Rangers player's gone down. It's James Sands. There wasn't anybody around him. There's always a little concern at that. Barisic plays the ball out to Kent. Kent moving forward. Smith made the tackle. Now it was won by Atkinson. Atkinson gathers on to Smith. Smith plays the ball inside to Shanklin. Shanklin has hit it behind the two advancing players. It's picked up by Kent. Sands is still down. Lovely little touch to get away. Cholak from Tillman hit the shot from the edge of the area. Now the referee is going to bring things to a halt. He's pointing to the ball on that far side, but he's going to come across to James Sands. That will allow us to go up to Tannadice and get the latest there from John Rankin.
Yeah, it's still 1-0 here at Tannadice. Dundee United obviously take the lead early on, 11th minute, with Kieran Freeman's low finish past Zach Hemmings. Since then, there's not been a lot in the game. United got to the byline once, and it becomes Vihic with his cutback. And again, it's that man Freeman running at the back post, but he finds his cell in front of the ball this time, and it's a close miss for Kilmarnock to go 2-0 down. Kilmarnock have matched up with United tonight. They went a back three as well, and Keir McIlroy's employed as a wing back on the opposite side. There's lots of space in the wider areas, but no crosses into the box so far. Still 1-0 United.
Thanks, John. Dundee United be delighted they got that opening goal. They've just taken 1 point from 10 games after losing the first goal this season. They've got a good record against Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock just 1 away goal so far this season. James Sands remains down. The Ibrox medical staff are around him. Giovanni van Bronckhorst deep in conversation, and Sands coming off the field, trying to see if he's holding his side at the moment. I don't know if it's the way he twisted. He now does a little hop, skip and a jump and makes his way to us here on this main stand side at Ibrox. 1 or 2 instructions coming on to Barisic, and Sands will be able to continue. The assistant Graham Stewart just checks on him. He just bent over, stretching back out again. Giovanni van Bronckhorst comes out. We're just going to a little chat with him, but he is going to come on. There will be a bounce ball at the edge of the area, which Craig Gordon will come and take, and Gordon bowls it out, and James Sands is back on the field of play. We've played 22.5 minutes in this first half. BBC Radio Scotland Sports Sound live tonight at Ibrox. Rangers and Hearts locked at 0-0. Motherwell Celtic live online. Lamont Tap Bonner. Currently Celtic leading by 1-0. Kyogo the scorer there. Now moving forward comes Hearts. Shankland on that far side pushes the ball through, but he's picked up by Rangers. King turns the ball back onto Davis, closed down by Ginnelly, and he gets the pass forward, picked up well. Now long on the angle. Smith tries to read it and gets the header back onto Craig Gordon. It's an ambitious pass by James Sands, but he did well to try and ping it away before he was under pressure. Just didn't have enough on it, and goes through to Craig Gordon. Gordon bowls it out wide onto Cochrane. Cochrane from Rolls, long it goes. King goes in, wins the header. Shanklin gets the header back up towards the edge of the Rangers area. Another header comes into the centre circle. Sibbick will win that header. Atkinson's first touch was terrible. Allowed Kent to get in there. Sibbick has to go in there again. Dundee United have scored again. Let's get the details from John Rankin.
Yes, it's 2-0 to Dundee United. Long ball over the top. Stephen Fletcher wins the first flick on. Glenn Middleton finds himself through and goals. He blasts it straight at Zach Hemmings. He's got nothing else to do with the goalkeeper apart from let it hit him. But it's following up is Jamie McGrath. It's close to just tap in for the to make it 2-0 to Dundee United.
Dundee United second of the match. Jamie McGrath second of the season. Dundee United leading Kilmarnock by 2-0. Here it's 0-0. Ball on the halfway line. Throwing to Hearts. Thrown down the side, easily away by King. Breaks back inside though, and Hearts have got Atkinson. Atkinson had Smith all alone on the right hand side. Didn't play it, tried to go down the left hand side. Rangers, plenty of players there. Lundstrom on to Tillman. Inside his own half, lays it back to Tavernier. Tavernier launches it long, looking for Lundstrom inside his opponent's half. Tried to flick it over. Kai Rolls takes a touch, turn, and plays the ball again down the side. Going to be taken down well by Tavernier. Tavernier inside to Ben Davis. Davis across the centre circle onto Barisic. Barisic lifts it up. One club too short. Michael Smith easy to get there. Barisic then comes through the back of Atkinson right in front of us. Free kick awarded by John Beaton. It's 0-0. Here's Kenny Miller.
And it was a free kick. I don't think it needed to be though. I think he could have just went and took the ball and maybe set up a counter attack because the ball was behind Atkinson. Atkinson 2 seconds before that missed a real opportunity to release Smith. They had the freedom of Ibrox on the right hand side of the Hearts field, and he's chose to try and play through the middle and caught out.
Hearts send it long down the right hand side, taken down on the chest by Ginnelli. Ginnelli clips it inside, and well, Shanklin made a little run towards it, but it was always going into Alan McGregor. I think on that occasion Ginnelli had to try and hold that one up. Rangers now coming forward. Sands may have overrun it. Devlin steps inside his way, but he gets the pass out to Barisic. Over the halfway line comes Ryan Kent. Kent takes a little step in and gathers once more, moves back to the halfway line. Rangers have won the last 5 Scottish Premiership matches between these sides, outscoring Hearts by 15-2. Hearts just taking a solitary point as Barisic clips the ball off Atkinson. Ball goes out of play, halfway line. Van Bronckhorst quickly throws it back into Barisic, and we're moving again. Rangers and Hearts 0-0 at Ibrox. Picked up at the back by Leon King. King again looks to the left, but plays it down the middle. Cholak well marked by Rolls on that occasion. Now it's sent forward by Tavernier. Lundstrom out wide on that right hand side, turns the ball back inside. There, Rangers try and gather again. There was no way through on that occasion. Matondo, and Rangers have to go back to go forward again. Davis, nice little ball out to the left hand side onto Kent. Barisic on the overlap. Kent has some space inside, but he'll play it to Barisic. Barisic closed down by Atkinson. Now Tillman takes the touch, turns, plays the ball back onto Davis. Ginnelli comes back to help out now. Rangers try and go down the line. Barisic tries to get away from Devlin. Devlin gets his body in. Referee says no free kick. He's allowed Rangers to play on. Good call. Barisic sends it out wide to Cholak. Cholak out wide. Matondo is there. Back to Tavernier. Tavernier scoops the ball high and away. Well, Devlin certainly appeared to be nibbling at Lundstrom, and he's just explaining that to the referee. The referee, Kenny, decided to allow play to continue. Right call. Rangers got a chance.
Yeah, I think it was. I mean, I don't think there was much in the coming together between Devlin. I think it was actually Barisic that was trying to move forward, but it was really good patient play for Rangers initially, and then it would become a bit of a fracas in the middle of the pitch that Rangers came out with the ball, and it was another chance for Tavernier to put the ball into a dangerous area. Lundstrom's getting himself into positions in the box. I mean, he's a good size, good target to hit in the box. It was just a poor delivery for the captain.
Civic by the corner flag, sends it long to the halfway line. Ben Davis goes back, wins the header. Cammy Devlin heads it forward. Tavernier scoops it high in the air. Robbie Nielsen went with the right foot, didn't get that much control on it.
No, it was a 2-10 that one, Paul. He tried to bring it down there. I'm not sure of the footwear he's got on it. It's the footwear he choice to try and control the ball like that.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I wouldn't like to be slipping around in those. Here comes Michael Smith getting ready with a throw. 6th straight appearance for Hearts after 3 games out, so vital for Hearts. Right full back tonight, plays it forward, but Rangers have gathered. Hearts have won it again. Shanklin plays it inside, short pass onto Snodgrass, Snodgrass back onto Civic, and Civic onto Craig Gordon, all in grey. Out wide, Rolls is there. Cochrane tries to get away from Matondo, does so, driving his way forward. Tackled by 2, referee saw it was fine. Now Tillman has it, Tillman plays the ball forward, Rolls again, gets the touch, comes out wide onto Kent, Kent round the corner onto Tillman, Tillman being blocked though by Civic, Civic did really well, Tillman nowhere to go and runs the ball out of play. Excellent defending by Toby Civic, he gets the applause of Michael Smith, and again a Rangers attack that looked really dangerous, just fizzles out.
Yep, and Hearts play a part in their own downfall of game, Paul. They're turning the ball over the middle of the pitch. Cochrane's trying to dribble out the left back. He got through one challenge, and then he tries to drive into the middle of the pitch where there's 2 or 3 Rangers players. He gets robbed. It's not a free kick, and Rangers have a real opportunity. But it's these moments that are just letting Rangers down at the moment. They're a wee bit lack of belief when they get this chance, 1v1, to take a shot, to make a good decision, set a teammate up. It's just not been clear enough for Rangers in the final third.
Dundee United have scored again. They are running riot, John Rankin.
Yes, they are. It's 3-0 Dundee United. This time it comes from a free kick. You've got Glenn Middleton and Stephen Fletcher over the ball outside the box. Fletcher steps away and leaves it to Middleton. Takes it, whips it over the top of the wall and at the near top corner. 3-0 Dundee United.
Hearts trying to come forward here. They're driving forward. Here's Atkinson. Atkinson 30 yards from goal, still going up towards the edge of the area. He's turned back, comes back on to Michael Smith. Smith plays the ball inside onto Snodgrass. Snodgrass gathers out wide onto Rolls. Rolls will push it back onto Civic. Hearts looking to come again. Michael Smith has it. Smith looks up, takes a touch. He'll play it back onto Civic. Civic will send it out wide. Hearts will try and build again. We'll get to Fir Park in just a moment. Hearts trying to attack. They've just got to hold on inside their own half. Little short ball onto Andy Halliday. Halliday back to Craig Gordon. So we go to Fir Park and Jane Lewis.
Yeah, Celtic on top here and ahead as well. The goal after 14 minutes. Matt O'Reilly did really well down the left flank, did well. Great determination to grab the ball of Callum Slattery. Played the ball across the face of goal for Kyogo to slot home. Celtic well on top. They've had efforts through Jota as well, a long range one that flew over the bar. And then Bevis Mugabe back on the Motherwell side did really well to make a challenge on Aaron Moy as he was charging through on goal. He's paid the price, so he's now off, and Solheim has come off the bench to replace him. Celtic leading 1-0 here at Fir Park. We played 31 minutes.
Thanks, Jane. Here at Ibrox 0-0. Rangers have a free kick. Barisic plays it in. Gordon stays on his line, helped out of the box by Rolls. It runs out of play on that far side, and referee just has a little look that Tillman's okay. Chased out after it with Alex Cochrane, and it is going to be a throw into Rangers. 16 yards from the corner flag on that far side. Rangers continuing to try and push. 31.5 minutes gone here at Ibrox. No goals at Paisley. Motherwell trailing Celtic, as you heard from Jane, and Dundee United 3-0 up over Kilmarnock. Kilmarnock's only away point this season, 0-0 against St Mirren. Doesn't look like they're going to add to that. Kent has the ball out wide on the left-hand side. Oh, brilliant shimmy to get away from Michael Smith. The cross is a decent one. Oh, just a little bit too high, you could argue, and just tracking back. Andy Halliday knocks it away. Lundstrom and Cholak were both waiting for that, Kenny. Rangers have a corner. There's a penalty at St Mirren as well. Let's go to Martin Dowden.
Yeah, more VAR controversy here. It is a penalty for St Mirren. It was St Johnstone rather. It was St Johnstone go down the right, Dre Wright had the ball. He looked to dink it into the box. It came off a defender's arm. It appears it was Scott Tanser who moved his arm towards the ball. The referee didn't give it. A VAR check intervened. He went and had a look. It took a very long time, and it will be St Johnstone who have this opportunity to go ahead. We're just waiting on Graham Carey. He's now spotting the ball. The referee just making sure that Trevor Carson is back in his line, but this will be highly controversial yet again. We had it last night at Livingston. 3 penalties awarded when the referee hadn't awarded any of them. It took VAR to intervene before they were given, and he's all set here. It's Graham Carey up against Trevor Carson, and Carey fires it low into the corner, down to Carson's right. It's St Mirren 0, St Johnstone 1.
Thank you very much indeed, Graham Carey. Goal number 4 of the season. no VAR controversy so far at Ibrox, but the night is but young.
Yeah, we just missed a chance for Cholak there as we're hearing about the St Mirren penalty from a corner. James Tavernier all the way to the back post. It takes out all the zonal players of the Hearts team and falls on Cholak's right foot about 8-9 yards from goal, and he just hits it straight down the throat of Craig Gordon. A comfortable save, but a really good chance for Cholak there.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a man who's overly confident at the moment, despite 14 goals in 23 appearances so far for the Ibrox club. It was, as Kenny Miller says, fairly simple save for Craig Gordon. Hearts have won a free kick just inside their own half, left-hand side. Now to the edge of the centre circle, Snodgrass plays the ball back onto Civic. Civic will play the ball back to Craig Gordon. Cholak was trying to close down. Rolls out wide onto Cochrane. Cochrane closed down very quickly by Matondo. Hearts though keep it through Halliday. Now on that far side, Rolls again, lifts it long. King in good position to head the ball away. And he just gets a little bit of help on that far side, and Hearts have to turn it out of play. Matondo, he's flitting out of the game at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, most of the Rangers play has been coming down the left-hand side with Ryan Kent, with Barisic. Lundstrom and Tillman have also found themselves across here linking up with Kent. Matondo, he's had a couple of moments where he's skinned Cochrane a couple of times, but it's not been enough again. But like I said, when you've got Kent and looks in decent form tonight, it's a good avenue for Rangers. And I just like, if you see the positions that Tillman and Lundstrom are taking up, they're really occupying that back four, and it's creating space either for the run for Lundstrom, as we're seeing right now, or for the ball to go to the wider players in Kent and Matondo.
Still awaiting a breakthrough here at Ibrox, 0-0. Here's the opportunity for Barisic. Barisic runs forward. Hearts managed to get it away through Civic. Breaks down to the edge of the box to Devlin. Devlin back to Smith. Smith, Snodgrass. Now it's played out wide to Civic. Out wide to Smith. Hearts round the corner through Devlin. I think Hearts are mistaking themselves for Brazil at the moment, the way they're trying to play out the back. Here's Shanklin. Shanklin with a lovely little touch on the inside, but he overhits Snodgrass, and Tillman gets it centre circle. We'll play it out wide onto Kent. Chance here for Rangers up at the edge of the area, driving into the box. Kent taken through by Sands. Craig Gordon comes and gathers. Sands goes behind the goals. Craig Gordon has ball in hand. Let's go to Tannadice. John Rankin.
Yeah, Derek McInnes after 34 minutes has just made 3 substitutes all at the one time, and they've just hit the post after he's done that. I can't figure out what system they've went to so far, because they've had 2 corners and 2 free kicks since he's made those 3 subs. But Jordan Jones, Blair Alston and Ryan Alabusu have all come off. Ryan Alabusu, I'm not sure if that was a force change or not, but as soon as the sub started to warm up, he went down. So on comes Innes Cameron, Rory McKenzie and Alan Power after 34 minutes.
Well, chance for Rangers, but Craig Gordon comes out to deny. Cholak. Rangers have a corner which they think about taking quickly, but then they will think better of it, and the opportunity to swing the ball in. 3 changes within 35 minutes, all at the same time. It's never a good sign. That's why Kilmarnock are trailing by 3-0. Celtic lead by 1-0. St Johnstone leading by 1-0. That Graham Carey penalty. Here at Ibrox, 0-0 as Tavernier takes the corner, plays it in, Rolls gets the header away from Lundstrom, still inside the box. Devlin gets the second header outside the area, turned back in by Tavernier. Shanklin can't get there, Bixter Rolls sends it into the middle, headed away by Cochrane, and then Atkinson. Hearts living life on the edge at the moment. Little back header was not a good one, comes right down the middle, so it's played out wide onto Kent. Kent running up against Smith and Atkinson. He's at the apex of the area, plays it back out wide onto Barisic, takes the touch, drags it to the corner flag. He's up against Smith, he's holding off. Smith tries to play it off him. It's a throw into Rangers just by the corner flag. Michael Smith is very slow to give the ball back, and he drops the ball, and Barisic will have to come across to get it. 37 minutes gone, 0-0. Rangers and Hearts. Now the ball thrown all the way back to Davis. Davis hooks it back near the halfway line. Leon King is waiting. King steps up, ball on the right foot, little clip ball across. Atkinson heads it away, just gets it past Ginnelli, back onto King. King plays it out wide onto Barisic. Barisic up against Atkinson. Atkinson sliding in, wins it. The ball did go out of play despite him trapping it with his leg. It's going to be a throw into Rangers. The work level from both teams, Kenny, is tremendous.
Yeah, they're putting a lot in the air, particularly Hearts. They're doing a lot of chasing. I mean, it's been predominantly Rangers attacking, asking the questions. Hearts obviously looking to get on that counter, as we've seen a couple of times early on. Not so much in the last 15-20 minutes, Paul. I think Rangers have had real control, and I also think that's down to Hearts. They've been really sloppy, losing the ball in their own final third. They're turning it over the middle of the pitch. Again, it's been a good pressure. It's been good pressure for Kents, for Tillmans, for Lundströms. Sands getting on the front foot as well to really get Hearts under pressure and have sustained spells in the Hearts half.
Rolls away to Cochrane. Cochrane forward to Halliday. Midway inside his own half. Right by that far touchline. He will gather. Halliday plays into Snodgrass. Snodgrass back to goal. Plays it back to Cochrane. Cochrane back onto Snodgrass. Trying to get away from Lundstrom. Snodgrass gathers. Plays it back. It's going to be hooked back in by Rolls to Craig Gordon. Edge of the 6-yard box. Gordon sends it long. Sands slipped that time. Quite a few players slipping out there. Ball headed out of play. It's going to be a throw into Hearts. Sands has slipped a couple of times. Tillman noticeably slipped 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a lot of rain since the start, even before the game, Paul. I mean, again, it's always the thing. Have they got the right footwear on? Have they got the right studs to stop that? Particularly defenders, because the last thing you want to do is make a costly slip and allow someone to go through and goal.
Hearts of a man down. And that's why the referee has stopped play. Process of elimination. It's Josh Ginnelly, and Ginnelly, I think, is in a bit of trouble. He's calling over the Hearts physio. Hearts of Mackay and Forrest available to them.
I think he looked like he was maybe just clutching for his hamstring a little bit, Paul. I mean, it'll be a loss for Hearts. I don't know if that maybe means they'll have to change the game plan slightly. I know you've got guys like Forrest and Mackay on the bench who have got a bit of pace, but I just don't think that at his level of pace he's been a real threat, particularly early in the game. It'll be a big loss for Robbie and his team, and probably his game plan if Ginnelly has to go off.
Yeah, so Hearts concerned here at the moment. 0-0 here. There have been goals in the last 18 between these two sides. The last 0-0 August 2017. Hamilton and Fodringham were the goalkeepers back then. Elsewhere in Scotland tonight, St Mirren 0, St Johnstone 1, Graham Carey from the penalty spot, or as we're now calling it, the VAR penalty spot. Motherwell 0, Celtic 1, Kyogo after 14 minutes. Dundee United lead come on it by 3 goals to 0. Kieran Freeman with the first of the 3 goals. That was his first of the season. Jamie McGrath with the second goal. That was his second of the season. And to complete the sequence, Glenn Middleton's third of the season was Dundee United's third as well. The bad news is that Tony Watt's on 3, so he's looking to score a 4th of the season. That might happen as the bounce ball will come. Ginnelly is away on that far side. Looks like he does want to continue just running it off. I think you're right, Kenny. You're just concerned from a Hearts point of view it was a hamstring, and if that's the case, he's done. But he's back on the field of play, so it was a twist rather than a pull. And now it comes out wide onto Barisic. Barisic, left-hand side to Kent. Kent quickly into Tillman. Civic stuck with him very, very well. Played the ball away to Smith. Smith to Snodgrass just outside his area. Back to Civic. Civic just gets enough onto Smith. Smith takes it away from Kent. Back onto Civic. Civic tries to launch it long. Rangers really pressing, making it hard for Hearts to get out, and then they surrender the ball with a long ball forward. Davis to Barisic. Back onto Davis. Halfway line. Gathers again. Then Davis. Forward it came. Civic tried to get in there. Snodgrass will gather. Snodgrass takes the touch. We're 77 on his back. Cochrane's made a great run, but the short ball into Halliday. Halliday turns it back onto Rolls. Cochrane had gone to the halfway line. It's his finish. Aussie World Cup member who will play the ball long. Ginnelly trying to get inside. King read it well. Oh, his touch a little heavy. Hearts have got a throw level with the penalty area on that far side. And Ginnelly goes across. He's got ball in hand, but he's not going to take it. Alex Cochrane will come across.
And that was better for Hearts there, Paul. I mean, they're playing their part of their own downfall. I mean, they're keeping the ball, but there's no progression. This time, they get it out of a tight area, they switch the play, they hit the ball for Ginnelly, they got a throw in the final third.
Hearts wanted a free kick. Tavernier went in on Cochrane, not given, but Hearts have won the ball back through Ginnelly. Ginnelly plays it out wide onto Halliday. Halliday gets the cross ball in. Hearts have got everybody at the near post. It falls to the far post, and the ball will come out for Kent, and Kent tries to keep it in, but he can't do so, runs it out. Hearts are going to have a corner. Hearts just didn't have anybody as the cross came in the right area, but even then Rangers had pulled players across as well, so very uncomfortable ball for Rangers to deal with.
Yeah, it was. I think it was maybe Davis on the stretch, just got something on it to knock it back, but then you had Atkinson kind of going in with it with Kent. Kent's just, he wins the ball, he gets there first, tries to bring it down with his head, just knocks it just too much and out for the corner. A chance for Hearts near the end of the half box, their first venture forward for a while.
First work in a while for Alan McGregor, all in yellow tonight as the ball comes tumbling in towards him. Good header away up to Shimura. Atkinson with the shots, deflected. Kyle Rolls almost gets in there, played back to McGregor, has to play it with his feet and knocks the ball away out of play. He was making sure it wasn't going for a corner, but he's had to concede the throw on that far side. That nearly fell Hearts' way.
Yes, I mean, it's a shot through a ruck of players. It can go anywhere, it can deflect and go towards the goal. Fortunate enough it fell to a Rangers player that played it back to Alan McGregor, which I didn't think was a great decision, but Alan McGregor managed to deal with it and scramble it away.
Is he the angriest goalkeeper you've ever met, Alan McGregor? Because he lets people know.
No, he definitely does, yep.
There's been a goal at St Mirren. Martin Dowden.
It's Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1, and what a finish it was by Greg Kiltie. Ball into the box, it was headed right up in the air, not cleared properly. He came onto it, showed great technique as the ball dropped from a height, and he volleyed it right into the corner past Raimi Matthews. St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1.
Rangers on the attack. Civic gets the ball away, up towards the halfway line it goes. Make that Greg Kiltie's first goal of the season. Barisic will play the ball out wide onto Kent. Kent will gather. Kent will play the ball back towards Davis. Davis inside onto Tavernier. Centre circle inside his opponent's half. Out wide onto Matondo. Matondo is there up against Cochrane. Cochrane made the challenge, but the ball went past him. It's won by Lundstrom. Back to Matondo. Matondo goes in. Sliding challenge. Halliday says there is no free kick coming, and that is going to be a corner kick. Craig Gordon's indicating it's a dive. Let's quickly go to Fir Park, the latest from Jane Lewis.
Yes, still 1-0 here, but you've only got to wonder just how long it will be before Celtic add a second. They're looking so dangerous, in complete control. They're charging forward constantly. Hatate, Jota and Kyogo all looking very, very dangerous. Liam Kelly in the Motherwell goal has had to look very lively on several occasions. Motherwell not really threatened. They did try an audacious effort from 35 yards out. Callum Slattery spotted Joe Hart off his line, but I think his effort flew 35 yards wide of the goal as well, so it really wasn't the quite right shot maybe to have a go. I seen Joe Hart off his line, but yeah, it did not come off, it's fair to say. Celtic still leading this one by a goal to nil. Kyogo after 14 minutes, and look.
Rangers have a free kick. Rangers clip the ball into the middle. Oh, deflected by Rose. It was hit onto his head and he got the ball away. I'll tell you about how the free kick came about in a moment. There's 2 additional minutes to be played. King sends the ball out wide onto that far side onto Tavernier. It was blocked. Now Hartsfield Matondo dived. Halliday was actually yellow carded. It could have been for the challenge, or certainly talking back to the referee. We'll try and get that clarified. Hearts were claiming it was a dive, and from the free kick, Rangers, well, it was a chance.
It was a chance. I mean, I think it's Davis again just getting on the end of the Tavernier cross, and I don't know if Rose knows anything about it, but he definitely got himself in the right position to defend it. It hit some and the chance went. I do think it was a bit of a dive from Matondo. It looked like he was on the way down before Andy Halliday even got to him, but Andy Halliday was booked nevertheless.
Ball played away, and I don't think Kyle Rogers knew exactly what was going on. He was just grateful to be there. Nearly a minute of the additional 2 have been played. All the action tonight. BBC Radio Scotland Sports Sound. I'll hand you back to Richard Gordon. We'll get round all the grounds. It's been a fascinating night so far. Rangers trying to build, trying to find the lead before half-time. As many teams have come calling to Ibrox know, this is almost the witching hour, just that final couple of minutes. You just know that Rangers have got something in the tank. And Barisic trying to prove it here. Sends it long. Kent can't get there. Hearts will be absolutely delighted that he just overcooked that. Rangers notorious for late goals at the end of a half.
Yeah, they are, because they keep going. They've been the team that have been in the ascendancy for pretty much most of the first half. I don't mind that type of play for Barisic and Kent, to be honest, because it's something that you don't see a lot in the Rangers game, is the forward running, the coming and checking and then going beyond. Barisic just overhits it at this point, but it's really good play for and movement from Kent.
Rangers have failed to score in only 1 domestic match this season. That was the loss at Celtic. Hearts keeping them at bay so far. Craig Gordon taking his time, just wants to launch this long and hope the referee John Beaton will blow his whistle. Takes a bounce, comes through out of play. It's going to be a throw-in to Rangers inside their own half, but John Beaton's going to say no, that will do for the first half here at Ibrox. Rangers with a couple of chances. Ginnelly with a chance early for Hearts. McGregor just managed to deal with it. Cochrane with a block. Another great block from Kyle Rose. Rangers' best chance arguably. Lundstrom after 19 minutes. Shaped to shoot, but hit the ball over. Cholak with a shot as well after 33, but it's still all to play for at Ibrox. Half-time, Rangers 0, Hearts 0.
On digital radio,
online at BBC Sports Scotland,
or play BBC Radio Scotland Extra on your smart speaker or BBC Sounds.
This is Sports Sound.
There's no substitute.
So the half times around the country: Rangers 0, Hearts 0, Motherwell 0, Celtic 1. That Kyogo goal, 11th of the season. Here at Tannadice, Dundee United cruising against Kilmarnock. Kieran Freeman, Jamie McGrath, Glenn Middleton all on target. And the game that hadn't quite reached half-time in Paisley. St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1. Graham Carey's penalty cancelled out by Greg Kilty's first of the season. We'll get round the grounds. We'll hear from our various reporters and pundits at the match. Stephen Craigan with us this evening, though. He's in the studio. He's been watching the games coming in. What in particular has caught your eye from the matches, Stephen?
Well, I think first and foremost, I'm sure the referees are probably quite glad there hasn't been many contentious decisions throughout the games, Richard. Now, I know we'll probably come to it. You know, the St Mirren penalty for me is a penalty all day long, and I'm not too sure why the referee had to go and have a look at it at VAR, because it was clear and obvious as a handball. There was a penalty call at Motherwell. Stephen O'Donnell, perfectly timed tackle on Rio Hatate. If he had mistimed it or got it wrong by a slight split second, it would have been a penalty kick. So I think the refs are glad they're having a quiet evening, but just in general, you know, there's been some good football played. You know, I think the performance of the night clearly has to go to Kilmarnock. Sorry, Dundee United. Sorry, Dundee United. Just the blue jerseys come on the screen there. I mean, for a side who are struggling for goals and wins, to be 3-0 up at half-time, Kilmarnock now, as it sits bottom of the table, so that's a huge blow for Derek McInnes. You know, quite clearly their away form has been absolutely dreadful. What it does, it puts a lot of emphasis on their home form. So if they end up losing a game or two like they did last Friday against Livingston, you know, then you kind of think, where do they go from there? Celtic are really comfortable at Motherwell. I think that the Hearts game plan will be ideal. Keep the crowd quiet. Don't give Rangers anything to get excited about. Don't allow the fans to give them support in the back end. Try and keep it as compact as you can, and maybe nick something on the break. If that happens, then of course then it will get noisy. But all night, you know, it's all round another good night for Scottish football.
Highlights tonight, 11:30, BBC Scotland Channel Sports Scene. We'll chat more with Stephen. Let's get round the grounds then. We'll go to Pat Bonner. The live commentary of that one is live online. 1-0 for Celtic. But listening into Jane's reports into the commentary gamepad, it could have been an awful lot more than one at half-time.
Yeah, it could, but they've dominated Celtic, dominated possession. Lots and lots of possession, worked the ball into really good forward positions. You know, they've had a few shots on target. Liam Kelly's dropped a few, got away with it with really good help from his defenders in front of him. They had a change. Mugabe had to go off. Solomon had to come on after 20 minutes. Stephen O'Donnell, I wondered how he was going to get on up against Jota, but I think he's played really, really well. He's got tight to him. He hasn't allowed him to go past him on any occasion. He did give the ball away when Stephen described that tackle then that he had. Got himself back into a great position, put a great tackle in. I just wondered if there was any... We couldn't probably see it properly, but there was a come-to between Hatate and Stephen O'Donnell inside the box when the ball was cleared. I don't know whether Stephen picked up on any of that, but the crowd in front of us was baying for Hatate to at least get a yellow card, if not get sent off on that occasion. That's the only big talking point from the goal that Celtic got. Was a really good piece of work from Matt O'Reilly when he didn't look as if he had could get to the ball. He got in after inside the box, and he put a fantastic you could call it a defensive tackle inside the Motherwell box. Won the ball, and as soon as he won the ball, he got on his feet and just tapped it across that 6-yard box for Kyogo, who was really sharp to put it in the back of the net, and that gives Celtic their goal. But we've seen at Celtic Park where Motherwell hung in for lots of the game, and that last 15 minutes then he changed it, and Celtic will be desperate to get that second goal to put this game to bed. But as long as it's 1-0, Motherwell always have a chance.
It's an 11th of the season for Kyogo. He scored in 3 successive Premiership matches. So Motherwell 0, Celtic 1. Let's go to Kenny Miller then, watching on. Rangers 0, Hearts 0. Hearts, you suspected, I think, Kenny, out to frustrate Rangers. Have they been doing just that?
No, they have been, Richard. Yeah, and you can see their setup is they've got two banks of 4. Shankland's dropping off Ginnelly, getting back in to make that kind of 4-4-1-1. They're trying to force Rangers wide. They're putting a lot of work to try and stop Kent and Barisic and Tavernier and Matondo on the other side. I must say though, Rangers have had a bit of joy. They've not done it as well as what Livingston done it when they were here at Ibrox a few weeks ago. I sense that's because they're trying to have a little bit more of an attacking intent to their play with Shankland and Ginnelly in the team. But Rangers have had opportunities. Nothing really clear cut aside of the chance from Cholak and Lundstrom from 16 yards, but they've had a lot of kind of positions with Kent in particular, Matondo a couple of times on the other side. Tillman and Lundstrom are causing a lot of problems by positioning themselves just behind Devlin and Snodgrass and causing the back four of Hearts to kind of deal with them, which does leave a lot of space wide. Rangers have just not done enough to create that really good opportunity to take the lead. Hearts looked dangerous on the counter initially for the first 15-16 minutes or so, but we've not really seen too much yet in the last half hour. Rangers have been pretty dominant, to be honest, without really creating that one chance, like I say. And I think that's been something that they've toiled with over 3 of the last 4 games. Livingston St Johnstone in here tonight is really kind of finding that bit of creativity, that bit of maybe genius that they can break that team down and get that one chance. I must say though, Tillman, when he's got the ball in that half turn, he has done it pretty well tonight 2 or 3 times. He's just not either pulled the trigger or made that final pass to create the opening maybe for a Cholak or one of his teammates. But Rangers dominant, doing all the pressing, but they really have to be aware of the counter-attacking passage in early.
No doubt about the scoreline of the evening so far. It's here at Tannadice. It's Dundee United 3, Kilmarnock 0. John Rankin, what a performance by United.
Yeah, they've been great, Richard. They don't look defensively in trouble whatsoever. They've been very good attacking play. Derek McInnes tried to match up at the beginning, but there was like a 3-diamond 1, a 5-diamond 1. But the wing backs were quite high, and which was causing the back 3 problems, and United sussed that out pretty quickly. The first goal just comes from a clearance, so a throw in right out just outside United's box, comes short, and Ross Graham just strikes through a 50-50 challenge, and it goes over the top of the Kilmarnock defence. And as that happens, Freeman finds himself one-on-one with the goalkeeper after 11 minutes, and he slides it home, and after that United looked really comfortable. I can't remember Dundee United having been under any pressure at the beginning of the game. And then in 23 minutes, another long ball, Fletcher goes up for a flick on with Ash Taylor, and the other 2 centre-backs don't cover round, and as Ash Taylor flicks it, as Stephen Fletcher flicks it on, Glenn Middleton runs in behind, and he could show a wee bit more composure and slide it to either side of the goalkeeper, but he decides to put his foot through the ball, and as he puts his foot through it, Zach Hemmings makes it's a reactionary save. It just hits his midriff, but he can't do anything else. But straight away, McGrath's falling in, Jamie McGrath's falling in, and he slides in to make it 2-0. And from that point on, it's looked convincing for Dundee United. 6 minutes later, in the 29th minute, there's a free kick given just outside the box, and at that point you're looking at, it doesn't favour a left footer, it favours a right, but Dundee United get Stephen Fletcher and Glenn Middleton over the ball. Fletcher steps away and Middleton puts it in the near top corner, and United are shooting up the hill. It's a great free kick, and as that happens, you see Derek McInnes coming to the edge of the technical area, he turns back and he sends a sub out to warm up, and at that point you're thinking he's just making one change, but there's 3 changes very quickly, and at that point he brings on Innes Cameron, Rory McKenzie and Alan Power, and Jordan Jones, Blair Alston and Ryan Aliabusu make way. And as soon as that happens, they've got a quick flurry of, I think there's three free kicks and 2 corners into United box. Ash Taylor's unlucky, one hits it comes off the post. But apart from that, Kilmarnock haven't really had any threat, and Dundee United have looked really convincing. But having said that, if Kilmarnock get an early goal in the second half, then it's game on, because we all know what Dundee United's form has been like so far this season. It's
been amazing. What was the earliest you've ever been subbed off?
45.
Do you make it to the end of the first half, or you take it off just before?
No, I made it to the end of the first half, thankfully.
Horrible, isn't it? Just horrible as a player, I'm sure. I'm not sure I've ever seen a triple substitution so early in a game. Dick Campbell made 5 at the same time in a Cove Rangers Arbroath game earlier in the season. But wow.
Richard, I think John had to make a triple substitution possibly down at Morton on a few weeks ago. John, is that right? Was it a triple one?
Tell you what a memory you have, Craigs.
Because Richard, you were working on the Saturday, I think, so clearly I was on open all night.
No, it wasn't triple, it was a double substitution.
After how many minutes?
I think it was 27 minutes as well. That's right. 3-0 down, I made 2, yep, you're right.
Sorry, Richard, I just thought I'd bring that up.
No, listen, sometimes when you need to try and help the players that are on the pitch, and some aren't doing it, so you need a reaction from them. And to be honest, Derek's had the reaction after that, because as I said, there was a flurry of corners, a flurry of free kicks, but United haven't had much attacking threat since then. But it's brave, because he turns round and he looks at 3 players. But I think what happened, Stephen, was Kilmarnock had went with a 3, as I said, three solid centre backs, 2 wing backs, 4 as a diamond in the middle and 1 up front, and it didn't suit the way they were playing, so he's quickly changed it and have went 4-4-2 now, and they've got Innes Cameron and Christian Deutsch through the middle, and they've been that wee bit more direct. But Kilmarnock are out very, very early for this second half as well. They're out just now.
Gosh, they certainly are. Look, quickly, let me remind you that you can listen into the second half live from Fir Park online. So that's bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. Motherwell against Celtic live online with Pat Bonner and Al Lamont. Let's get a Paisley then. St Mirren against St Johnstone. Half-time story there from Martin Dowden.
Half-time, St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1. It just won't go away. VAR once again central to the story, and it led to St Johnstone taking the lead here. Dre Wright gathered on the right, looked to dink the ball into the box. Scott Tanzer reacted by throwing his arm out. It connected, but referee Ewan Anderson played on. No intervention either from the far side assistant, who must have had a good view of that. We then had a lengthy delay before Anderson was called to view that incident. He then awarded the spot kick. It seemed the correct decision. Graham Carey expertly slotted that low down to Trevor Carson's right to open the scoring. St Mirren fought back though. They had created a couple of decent chances. Curtis Main with a low shot saved well after Greg Kiltie picked him out, but their equaliser arrived in real style. A ball into the box wasn't cleared properly. Greg Kiltie walked onto it and caught it perfectly on the volley to drill home into the corner. Even Stephen, a fair reflection overall. Half-time, St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1.
Thank you very much, Martin. So 1-1 it is there. 0-0 Rangers Hearts, Motherwell 0, Celtic 1, Dundee United 3, Kilmarnock 0 last night. Hibernian 0, Ross County 2, Livingston 2, Aberdeen 1. Incredible game that, Livy. All over the Dons for the first half hour or so, and then on the back foot thereafter. Stephen, I don't know if you've seen the incidents from that game. The VAR very much involved then with the various penalties that were awarded. Do you think that the officials got all 3 correct in that one?
Well, first of all, what I would say, Richard, there was 3 penalties in that game last night, and Nick Walsh didn't blow for either. Any of them.
Yep.
And certainly for 2 of them, the second one and the third one, he's within 5 yards of it, and he's looking right down the eye line of it.
Yep.
So that tells me either he doesn't want to give it and he's hoping VAR helps him out, or he just doesn't see it, which is staggering from an official's point of view. Very similar to tonight's one. I think Ewan Anderson is very close to the incident. The referee's assistant, Martin, described it perfectly, is on that side of the play. So they have to see that. They shouldn't have to rely on VAR. Then when it goes to VAR, the timing of understanding it's a penalty or not, it was clear immediately. Scott Tanzer was trying to show him down the line. He was trying to show him down through his left shoulder. There was cross behind him, and he randomly threw his right arm up and blocked the cross going into the box. So he's unnaturally making his body bigger. He's throwing a lazy arm out to try and stop the cross. It's a penalty kick. So that should be picked up immediately for me. So very disappointed. I have to say, I don't think the first penalty last night for Conor Barron, very, very difficult. The ball comes at him from a short distance and hits his hands, which are above his face, or around about his face. I can't see how that's a penalty kick because the deflection is so close in the pace of the ball. The third one, Jack Fitzwater, I think it is. It's a football movement. He's holding on to his player. And
I was staggered. Got to say, I was staggered that one was aborted.
Yeah, really staggered, Richard, because it's a football movement, and he's holding on. He doesn't get any advantage. He's not even looking where the ball is. He doesn't throw an arm at it. So I'm really concerned. I saw a stat today somewhere, Richard. Pre-VAR this season, in 63 games, there was 17 penalties.
Yeah.
Ahead of tonight's games, post-VAR, 20 games, there was 14 penalties.
Yeah.
So the difference is staggering. That either tells us players are making more fouls, or referees have continually got it wrong previously. But it's not a good stat.
I mean, it is amazing because pre-VAR, none of those penalties clearly would have been awarded last night. So it's inevitable that we're going to end up with more and more. I mean, it's a jamboree if you're a regular penalty taker, isn't it? You're going to be significantly increasing your goal stats for the season.
Absolutely.
We are up and running here at Tannadice. Remember, Dundee United 3-0 up against Kilmarnock. You can just listen in live from Fir Park online, bbc.co.uk/Sports Scotland. Motherwell against Celtic. Updates from Tannadice, from Paisley. But it's full live commentary here on the radio from Ibrox. 0-0 at half-time between Rangers and Hearts. It's back to Kenny Miller and Paul Mitchell.
Thank you, Richard. 21 matches now been 0-0 at half-time. Only 3 have gone to 0-0 at full-time. What awaits us here in the second 45 minutes at Ibrox. One change at half-time. Scott Arfield is on. James Sands, who picked up an injury in the first half, has gone off. So that the change at half-time as John Beaton blows his whistle and we get underway. Hearts, the maroon jerseys, white shorts, white socks, going from right to left as we watch the main stand here at Ibrox Rangers. Traditional blue with the white shorts, black socks, topped off with red. Now it's played forward up towards Cholak. Cholak loses out, Snodgrass picks up. Snodgrass under pressure immediately from Arfield, plays it out wide onto Smith. Smith lifts it forward down the side, and it's lifted and it goes out of play on that far side. Rangers have lost their last two, looking to avoid 3 back-to-back losses for the second time this season. They did that in September. Again, Champions League involved in that as Tillman plays the ball forward out to Cholak at the edge of the area. Sibic is there in the D, plays it forward, launches it inside the Rangers half. Hearts have won 3 of the last 4. The loss in Istanbul last Thursday, that after 6 games without a win, so they're in a much better place as King sends it long. It was read though on that far side by Michael Smith. Forward on to Atkinson. Atkinson trying to get away from Lundstrom inside his own half. Turns, takes the touch right on that far touchline, clips the ball in behind. Tillman just too strong for Devlin. Wins the ball, sends the ball on the inside. Gathered by Rangers. Cholak had dropped short. Now wide to Tavernier. Now driving his way through the middle to Tillman. Tillman 20 yards from goal, trying to find a way to shoot into the area. Brought back to Tavernier. Out wide it comes. Rotondo is there. Sends it long and high. It should be headed back in by Kent. Cholak tries to get there. Tillman sends it just wide. He picked up a deflection. It will be a corner. Tillman had to throw his whole body at the ball. He is hurt as a result. He gave it his all, but it just snuck past the post. Yeah, it does. It looks like he's maybe caught a sore one as he was trying to get on the end of that cutback, that headed back across the goal from Kent. Good play again. It looked like it might have just been gone, but it worked its way across the left, across the right with Matondo, who again never put a great cross in, but it found Kent at the back post, knocks it back over, and Tillman threw everything at it. Hearts defended it well. Rangers' first corner of the second half. It's long, it's deep, and it's headed away outside the area by Cochrane. Arfield chases it outside the area. Arfield Geller tries to send it low past Snodgrass. Snodgrass got the foot on the ball but returned it straight back to Arfield. Now it comes out wide. Matondo again, the Welsh internationalist. He's given the ball away to Devlin. Ginnelly wasn't in the best place to receive it, so it's played back to Halliday. Halliday now up to Ginnelly. Ginnelly pushed down. He bought that one. Certainly did, Paul. You know, it's good striker play. Andy Halliday never put a great pass into him. It was a bit of a bouncing bomb into him, but he got a good touch, positioned his body, took the contact, fell on the ball, gets his fill, relieves a bit of pressure. Hearts have been really poor. They've given it away. It's played through Matondo onto Cholak, but Cholak allowed the ball to run through him. Smith now plays the ball up towards Lawrence Shanklin. Shanklin leads it off to Snodgrass. Hearts inside their own half. Devlin, Snodgrass, great little ball over the top, out wide to Alex Cochrane. Cochrane coming forward now. Cochrane spins out into the area. It's just too far for Ginnelly. Shanklin will pick it up outside the box, down by the corner flag, pulls it back. Atkinson is in there. Atkinson didn't steady himself and he's hit the ball in the box. Lundstrom was there. He gets it away only as far as Smith. Smith will pick up on that far side. Michael Smith, 182 appearances now for Hearts. What a player he has been. Now it comes back to the halfway line on to Cochrane. And it's Cochrane. Well, he's just got a third of that, 61, but he's become such an important player for Hearts. It's Devlin, plays it round the corner to Ginnelly. Ginnelly takes a touch, rides himself away from Ben Davis. Now the ball up to the edge of the box. Shanklin waits there. Hearts top goal scorer sends it back out wide to Ginnelly. Drives the ball across. Halliday went through Halliday's legs. It was missed by McGregor. Halliday wasn't expecting that. The edge of the 6-yard box. If that had thumped off him, it was in. Now he has to track back as Tavernier comes forward. Plays the ball out wide onto Arfield. Arfield gathers now. Coming down this right-hand side. Arfield on the overlap is Tavernier. Hits off the back of his heel. Has to come back to collect the ball. Ravi Matondo back inside it comes onto John Lundstrom. Lundstrom lumbers up, gets the ball out wide onto that far side. Cross in by Barisic, good header away by Rolls up to the edge of the area. Snodgrass has it, lays the ball back onto Cochrane. Cochrane just glad to get that ball away. Hasn't gone out of play, it's kept in right on the halfway line by King. King inside onto Davis. Lively start to the second half. Nearly 50 minutes played 0-0 Lundstrom easily away from Shanklin, coming down this right-hand side. Shanklin, plenty space in front of him, drops it off to Tavernier. Matondo back onto Lundstrom. Lundstrom looking for Cholak, read by Rose. What a difference he makes for Hearts at the back. Forward it comes on to Snodgrass. Snodgrass is to try and accelerate away from Arfield. Does a little touch and turn, goes back, opens up for Devlin. Devlin plays it back to him. Snodgrass and Devlin. It was like after you, and Rangers have gathered. Matondo from Arfield out wide onto Tillman, 25 yards from goal. Hearts have got Devlin back, but Tillman's outside the box, right hand side, tries to get the cross in, and it's away by Sibic. It's on to Devlin. And Hearts again, there's a little triangle of play. It's the second time they've gone through that triangle, and the ball takes a bounce. Tillman might get in there, forces Halliday to play it up into the middle. The overhead kick attempt by Cholak from 12 yards out was outrageous. It was wide. Great effort, but Hearts, well, they're just handing possession to Rangers.
They're just doing it themselves. But the thing is, Rangers are not making the most of it, Paul. I mean, we've had time to get a breath now after the first 5.5 minutes of the second half. But Rangers have nicked it twice from Matondo and nothing come of it. Then Hearts play themselves into a bit of trouble. Cholak's very unlucky. In between all that, you've had a wonderful cross for Cochrane for the left-hand side, looking for Shankland or Ginnelly, and you've had another opportunity that just went through Andy Halliday's legs with a flasher across the goal from a cross from Ginnelly. There's been a really lively start to this game. You can't see this game finishing 0-0 with the amount of good attacking players that we've got on the field at the moment.
It's been entertaining, but it is 0-0. We will be the last game of the 4 to get goals, should we be blessed with one. A quarter of all goals in the Scottish Premiership this season have been scored in the last 15 minutes of matches. We're somewhat away from that, but something perhaps to think about as Ginnelly gets away, rides the challenge. The ball was won by Arfield, and it comes out wide onto Davis. Davis onto Tavernier. Tavernier in the middle of the field waiting for it is Davis, but Tavernier comes across. Will play it on to King. Hearts with everybody back behind the ball, including Ginnelly. Now it's sent out wide to Barisic. Barisic takes the touch. Back round the corner it comes all the way. Rangers trying to find a way to puncture this Maroon defence at the moment. Now it's sent out wide onto Kent. Kent's a brilliant ball and headed away. Kai Rolls once more and thumped out of play by Michael Smith. Kai Rolls is outstanding at the back at the moment.
Listen, he's been absolutely sensational when he's returned to the first team action. His head and everything. What he finds fault is normally in the right positions to deal with these scenarios, whether it be block something, a cross coming in, he's there to defend it. I mean, you see Cholak's actually off his back shoulder there with a chance, but he just knew where he needs to be, that he could probably deal with the player and the cross shot. He's a really good sign. I mean, he's a really interesting player coming across first year. Like I said, won a player against him a number of times. Knew he would do well, he would suit the Scottish game.
Devlin caught in the midfield by Tillman, then rescues it, plays it forward onto Atkinson. Atkinson onto Shanklin. Shanklin, lovely ball out wide. Chance for Smith to get things moving for Hearts. Ginnelly wants it played down the side, but King comes across, wins it well, turns it out of play. Hearts will have a throw, 16 yards from the corner flag on that far side, thrown into Hearts onto Ginnelly. Ginnelly takes a touch, tries to go round his man. Ginnelly can't do so, it's knocked away only as far as Snodgrass. Snodgrass gathers, sends it out of play. We can go to Fir Park and get the latest from Jane Lewis.
Yeah, Motherwell don't have the troubles to seek in this one. Not only are they trailing by a goal to nil, and Celtic are piling on the pressure in the second half, but they've lost 2 players as well through injury. Kevin Canveen came off. He didn't start the second half. Connors has come on for him. That was after, I think, a hefty challenge by Carter Vickers early in the first half. So Kevin Van Veen is off. So too Stuart McKinstry, he's off, and Josh Morris has just come on. Celtic, though, as I say, applying the pressure defensively. Motherwell have had to be on it. So far they have been. The likes of Jota and O'Reilly have been thwarted their efforts to add to their tally. So far they lead 1-0 Celtic, but they are on the attack constantly here.
Thanks, Jane. Well, Motherwell have lost their best goal scoring options over the last few weeks, and they all struggle. Celtic though will need a second there to make that one feel safe. Here it's 0-0. Rangers and Hearts. Devlin in the midfield, Snodgrass. They've played some nice football together, but at times the passing almost just put each other into trouble, and again that was an example.
You know what, they've done it numerous times over the course of the game, Paul. I mean, they've already done it 4 times in the second half. We're only 9 minutes old. There was umpteen opportunities for Rangers in the first half to go and capitalise on these types of mistakes. The bottom line is they've not been decisive enough in those moments to pick the right pass, to create that really good goal scoring opportunity, and it's something that has to improve, because in this game this could be the deciding factor, running the ball off Hearts in their own half and making the right choice to go and create a chance.
Arsenal made a change. Andy Halliday is withdrawn. Barry Mackay is on, so one former Rangers man for another. As Shanklin tries to come through the middle, it's Barisic, scoops it high in there. Cholak wins the header, but Cochrane will call off Rolls and play the ball back on to Craig Gordon. Gordon sends it long over the halfway line, won by Leon King. Taken down by Ryan Kent onto Lundstrom. Lundstrom clips it out wide, but Civic will win the header, bring it back to the halfway line. Remember, one apiece at St Mirren against St Johnstone. Dundee United cruising against Killie. 3-0. John Rankin will keep us up to date with that one. Martin Dowden is in Paisley as Tavernier plays the ball on the inside. Hearts haven't done too well here in recent times. They've struggled to score against Rangers and they struggle now to defend. Here's Devlin up against Tillman inside the area. Tillman moves forward, gets on the right foot, back onto left, low shot, side net. Well, he turned Devlin one way, then the other, got the shot away, plenty of pace. Craig Gordon, as you would expect, a goalkeeper guarding his post. The ball into the side net, remains Rangers 0, Hearts 0.
But it's well created, another one of those runs to that position, just in behind the Hearts midfielder. Devlin can't track it because he's playing off the back shoulder. Smith's occupied with Ryan Kent on the side, and there's a big old space between Civic and Smith. Tillman just makes a run in there. Once he gets players faced in that own box, he's got a lot of ability that you see there to chop and to change, to go right or left and get shots off. This time he does get his shot away, just too close to Craig Gordon's near post. Craig had it covered.
Let's get the latest from Jane Lewis from Fir Park.
Yeah, there's currently a check going on here. They're taking their time over it as well. Willie Collum is just hearing in his ear if there's another goal being about to be awarded from a Celtic point of view. Has the check. I think he's going to... there's substitutes being made now. I'm not sure what's happened by that check, but I'll tell you what happened. Kyogo, lovely ball over the top. Jota ran onto it. A lovely chip for Liam Kelly. They're still checking whether it's offside, I think, unless there's been an announcement in the studio. You guys might know differently, but yeah, we'll await to hear whether that goal has been allowed. Motherwell making a couple of subs, I should say, just while that is being checked again.
Thanks, Jane. We'll come back to you. So Celtic VAR, and we'll see what happens there. Here, Rangers coming forward on that left-hand side, looking for the opening goal here at Ibrox. Out wide onto Kent. Kent, ball on the right foot. It's a curling deep cross. Great header away. Cochrane. Arfield positioned superbly. Would have certainly got the shot away, but Hearts turned the ball behind, and it's gone behind for a corner. The goal has been chalked off at offside, so it remains 1-0. So VAR not allowing the goal. Offside here. It is a corner kick to Rangers. Tavernier stands there. Ivy Matondo stands right next to him. Hearts have got nobody near there, so he might play this one short. Tavernier takes a couple of steps further back. Indicates he's going to play the ball into the area, does so. Cholak tried to find it into the middle. Craig Gordon comes and gets the header, and he's going to bowl the ball out for Barry Mackay. Mackay was pushed over by Ryan Kent, and Kent gets a yellow card. Took out the Hearts player. He was trying to turn as Mackay was getting away from him. John Beaton is having none of the protest. Yellow card.
Yeah, right decision there. I mean, Barry Mackay just had the run on Ryan Kent. I mean, I'm sure he would have been able to catch up with him. He's got a lot of pace, Ryan, but he just chose to kind of grab Barry's right arm and just pull him. Barry goes down. Right decision. It's a booking. A silly one, but it is the right decision.
So the ball played onto this near side. Rolls. Cochrane closed down very quickly, and it's a throw-in. Let's get up to Tannadice, find what's happening in that second half. John Rankin.
It's a lot quieter than what it was in the first, that's for sure. There's not a lot happening in the game. It's quite scrappy now. Kilmarnock giving away a lot of fouls around about the halfway line, and Dundee United just take their time over the ball. There's been no chances either side the second half, but again, as I said, United are 3-0 up and just managing the game well just now.
Thanks, John. It's going to be one away point this season for Kilmarnock, and that has been it on their travels. They've only scored once as well. Hearts trying to come forward here. They called for a free kick about 15 seconds ago, but Ginnelly clearly went down too early. Comes out onto the near side onto Cochrane. Cochrane lays the ball back onto Rolls. Rolls onto Snodgrass. Snodgrass picks up. Hearts just denying Rangers the ball at the moment. Here's Barry Mackay. Mackay takes touch, lovely drift inside and lift over towards Cochrane. King will read it though. Play the ball onto Matondo. Matondo onto the halfway line. Tavernier's going to try and open up through the middle. That's a delightful ball through. Simic won the header. He had to. Kent was right in behind him. Craig Gordon may well have been struggling there as challenging Matondo. wins the ball, and Hearts will send it long up towards the halfway line. Again, Robbie Nielsen is yelling at referee John Beaton. He's also yelling at the fourth official, Stephen Kirkland. Not happy with some of the challenges that are going in. It's 0-0 here. Ball on the halfway line. Rangers trying to drive their way forward through Tavernier. Tavernier out wide. Matondo is there. Round the corner it goes into Arfield. Civic comes across to try and push him away. Matondo steps in. Cochrane is in there. Wins it. The ball goes out of play. It's going to be a Hearts throw. So we can go to Paisley. The latest St Mirren. St Johnstone. Martin Dowden.
Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1. It is the visitors that are pushing at the moment, but neither side can really create that clear-cut chance in this second half. The real thing, the problem they're having is the swirling rain, swirling in every direction. At the moment it's still, there's a chance it's just over the bar again from Nicky Clark. Still St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1.
Thanks, Martin. Ravi Matondo is off. Player's been worth over £10 million in transfers in his career, probably nearer 11 to be fair, and he's replaced by Scott Wright. Scored against Hearts in the Scottish Cup final back in May. That's the last time he hit the back of the net. 0-0 here. Hearts try and get the ball up towards the halfway line. Leon King easily wins the header. Tillman waits for it just inside the Hearts half. Back to Tavernier. Tavernier as the light rain continues to fall, as it's done for most of the evening. On to Shanklin. Shanklin over the top to Ginnelly. Ginnelly was caught trying to go to the right. The ball went to the left. He just couldn't change direction, and the ball all the way through to Alan McGregor.
Yeah, that's one of the first real threats of the second half that we've seen. Ginnelly kind of getting off the back shoulder of Davis, in between Davis and King. It was wonderful play for Shanklin. Didn't even need to look to where his partner was. Just got the angle of the pass wrong.
Scott Wright brings the ball down at the edge of the box brilliantly, plays it inside Arfield. Cholak with a shot. Craig Gordon with a save. Great play from Rangers, moved it so quickly. Long ball to right, inside to Arfield, spotted Cholak. Cholak with a shot. Craig Gordon there, two hands, easy save.
Yeah, another good chance for Cholak there, but that is the type of play that you need to break teams down. Quick, one touch, clean play. Arfield into Cholak, and he has a shot with his left hand, his left foot, has a real opportunity. Straight at Craig Gordon again.
Hearts play the ball long on the angle. Ginnelly has it outside the box, now inside the box on the left hand side. Lays it back for Barry Mackay. Mackay inside onto Snodgrass. Hasn't scored in a couple of years. Hearts are offside. And the flag goes up, and Snodgrass just passes the ball back, not quite in the right direction. Alan McGregor comes from goal, 38th appearance against Hearts tonight. Alan McGregor rarely on the losing side as well. And Rangers bring it forward through Ben Davis. Davis, that's read by Snodgrass. Snodgrass picks up and just chips the ball back onto Craig Gordon. Gordon stands, jersey untucked, plays the ball up towards the halfway line. Ginnelly tries to get in front of King, almost worked, and then runs through Davis. Davis wins the header, gets it on to Tavernier. Play on, says the referee. Tavernier gives the ball away onto Cochrane. I think Rangers rather had the free kick there. Ball comes back onto Snodgrass. No great advantage coming out to Tavernier. There wasn't Rangers players breaking, so the referee decided play would continue. Hearts send it long, too long, come all the way through to Alan McGregor. Here's former Scotland internationalist Kenny Miller.
Yeah, I mean, it's been quite a level game this second half, Paul. I mean, Rangers rightly dominating possession, but Hearts are looking dangerous, and I just think the change of Barry Mackay coming on, it gives them another threat, another play with real pace and ability to try and go and attack. Shanklin's been excellent in the position that he's playing tonight. A little bit different for him. Normally he's the out and out number 9, but he's playing as like a number 10 just in behind Ginnelly to allow Ginnelly to use his pace. But the game's in the balance here, Paul. You know, there's chances for both teams. It's who is going to take their moment.
It's been a fascinating encounter. Alfredo Morelos, the hammer of the Hearts, is getting ready to come on as Hearts gather, play the ball forward onto Barry Mackay. Mackay midway inside his own half, plays the ball back onto Rolls. Rolls takes the touch under pressure from Cholak, clips it inside. Devlin is there. Devlin through to Shanklin. Shanklin almost short to Snodgrass. Snodgrass runs into trouble through Arfield. Arfield has it. Kent with a lovely little touch and spin to get away. He's still got possession. Onto Tillman. Tillman will send it out wide onto Scott Wright on the right hand side. Wright looking for the byline up against Cochrane. He gets past him. Can he get the cross in? It's a decent one. Hearts head the ball away, waiting for it. And the back is Barisic. Barisic back round the corner, edge of the box onto Ryan Kent. Devlin moved him away, and Rangers being forced to go back. Hearts are also going to make a change. Alan Forrest is getting ready to come on. It'd be a surprise if it wasn't Josh Ginnelly. Now long on the angle, out towards Tavernier. Tavernier Pulls the ball back, 35 yards from goal. Scott Wright into Tillman. Flag stayed down. Tillman just outside the area. Drives it in. Doesn't beat the first man at the post. It was Rose. Back onto Scott Wright. He gets the shot away. But again, just hits the first man and Lawrence Shanklin. Lundstrom will gather. Lundstrom plays the ball back out onto this right-hand side, onto Liam King. One of the shortest passes of the season to Tavernier, who's standing shoulder to shoulder with him. Back onto King. King now. He's going to bring the ball forward. Hearts, everybody back behind the ball. 0-0. Nearly 65 minutes gone. Ball comes across. There's been a red card at St Mirren. We'll go there in just a moment as Barisic gets Rangers. Rangers just building up the pressure here. Ball wide is with Ryan Kent. Kent takes the touch, tries to drive inside. Oh, beats 2 players, beats 3 players, still going at the edge of the box. Plays it wide to Barisic. Inside Tillman! 1-0 Rangers! It may have been finished by Malik Tillman, but it was all made by Ryan Kent. A Rangers play by the Englishman. Drove the ball across and Tillman right dead centre. Hammered it past Craig Gordon. Rangers 1, Hearts 0.
And it was wonderful play for Ryan Kent. He jumped one way, he jumped the other. He took on 2-3 players. Still had the presence of mind to pick ball to Barisic, who went on the overlap down Rangers' left-hand side. And whether he's meant to or not, but he's cut the ball back perfect. Malik Tillman in between the penalty spot and the 6-yard box. Just gets enough on it. I think it might even go through Craig Gordon's legs. Straight at him, but with enough power to beat the Hearts goalkeeper.
Brilliant little ball across. Very little Craig Gordon could do. Hearts are making changes, so too are Rangers. Let's get details of that red card from Martin Dowden.
Card for St Johnstone's James Brown. He slid into a challenge, I think it was on Greg Kiltie. He was a bit reckless. The referee, Ewan Anderson, was on the spot. Yellow carded Brown for that one. It was checked by VAR. He was called to the side again. He changed his decision based on that and made it into a red. It did appear that James Brown caught Kiltie right on the shin, studs up, red card. St Mirren 1, St Johnstone 1, and St Johnstone with 10 men.
James Ryan with a love-hate relationship with VAR. He got sent off in a game earlier this season and that got reversed. It was against Kilmarnock. And this time it's yellow that goes to red. Hearts are 1 behind at Ibrox. Tavernier on the ball. Tillman, the goal scorer, scored against Motherwell back in October, but he has Rangers ahead here. 66 minutes on the clock, popping the ball in the back of the net, and Hearts have to find a way forward. Forrest is now on. And Snodgrass plays the ball out onto Cochrane. Cochrane back inside onto Snodgrass. Snodgrass plays it onto Devlin. Devlin forced to play it back onto Cochrane. Cochrane gathers, turns. Scott Wright was in there. No kick. There certainly wasn't one as Tillman has it outside the box on this right hand side. Tillman gathers, just steps away onto Tavernier. Tavernier out wide towards Arfield. Mackay goes in there, has to turn, play it down the line. Tavernier in there once more, works it with Wright. Tavernier into the area. He's never scored against Hearts, and he's blocked that time by Kyle Rawls. This appearance 22. Hearts doing enough on that occasion, but Rangers building the pressure up again. Tillman into the middle, it's deflected away. It's played against the Hearts hand and the ball is knocked away. Alex Mitchell is the player confirmed sent off against St Johnstone, not Brown, as the ball gets played forward. Here's Mackay. Mackay takes a touch, plays it back out onto Cochrane. Cochrane to Devlin. Devlin plays a little 1-2 with Barry Mackay. Back inside onto Snodgrass. Snodgrass will gather up towards the halfway line. Hearts trailing by 1-0. Rangers have won the last 4 meetings, but at least 2 goals. Hearts failed to score in 7 of the last 15 meetings as Cochrane tries to get on the end of this one. Arfield will gather and send it out wide onto Alfredo Morelos. Morelos, first meaningful touch. Low ball into the box, turned away by Civic. Almost got that through onto Arfield. And Hearts will get the ball away on that far side. Now the opportunity for Alan Forrest to run. Rangers back 4 is intact as the ball comes out wide onto Ginnelly. Ginnelly attacking the byline, tries to get the ball across, takes a deflection. Hearts will have a corner. It's 1-0. We've played 69 minutes. Still very much Kenny in the balance.
It sure is. I mean, a couple of things. I think it's an incredible stat that James Tavernier's not scored against Hearts, firstly, and I also think that Scott Arfield and Scott Wright have made a real impact on Rangers' team. Scott bringing his usual energy, forward running, goal threat. Scott Arfield, that is, and Scott Wright, positive play, drive, direct. He is very, very quick with the ball at his feet as well, Scotty. So it's been 2 good changes for Giovanni.
Hearts with a corner. Snodgrass in front of the small knot of Hearts fans on that far side. Hearts fans willing the ball in. In it comes, headed on by Mackay. Breaks down to Rose, back onto Mackay. Chance deflected high in there. It's going to fall underneath the crossbar. Tipped over by Alan McGregor. Hearts have another corner.
Yeah, and I think they got his rolls. It got a contact on that, a volley. Barry Mackay maybe got a flick at the front post, which is strange for Barry. He got on the end of a corner. Firstly, actually be in there trying to attack the corner, but he got a flick at the near post. Rolls got a shot, got blocked, and Rangers scrambled away.
Snodgrass again with a corner, lifted high, and then Rolls looking for it. Gets the header, heads it straight off Ben Davis. It's going to be a corner for Hearts. Now on this left-hand side, Ben Davis tracking back well. It's what you want to see of your defenders, tracking back the danger player from a Hearts perspective. Kai Rolls.
I thought it could have been a handball. I actually thought he could have headed off Ben Davis's hand, but it doesn't look like John's going to the ear for a check.
Well, John Beaton is standing there. He's unaffected by anything, so it certainly came off the head. And Robert Snodgrass just kicking away one or two little objects that have been thrown onto the field of play. I think it's just scrunched up paper. As Snodgrass comes in, left-footed, chips in, little header by Ginnelly. It's Morelos who gets the header away. Scott Wright, lovely little touch and flick, trying to get the ball away, can't do so. Hearts send it back on the angle onto Snodgrass. Snodgrass, first touch, manages to get the ball by the corner flag. He's under pressure from Tavernier, drags the ball back wide. Left-hand side to Mackay. Mackay back down the side onto Snodgrass. It's about the quality of the cross. It's in. Rangers knocked the ball away. I think it was Lundstrom. Now Hearts have it again. Chance for Cammy Devlin. The shot is dragged wide. And it remains Rangers 1, Hearts 0. Dundee United have scored again. Goal number 4, John Rankin.
Yeah, it's 4-0 Dundee United. On the ball's on the right-hand side in Kilmarnock's possession. Kermack plays the ball. He looks to play forward. It's great pressure from Kieran Freeman. He steals it and just plays it inside to McGrath. McGrath drives slightly and then lifts his head and pulls a great pull back to the edge of the box to Dylan Levitt. He doesn't even put his foot through it, just caresses it into the bottom corner near post. 4-0 Dundee United.
Good play by Dylan Levitt. There's now Rangers drive into the box again. Ball right across the face of the 6-yard box. Arfield sliding in at the far post, couldn't get there. The near post, as far as Hearts are concerned, was Morelos. He couldn't get on the end of it, and the ball comes all the way out of play. That could have been 2-0.
Yeah, it could have been. Again, good play on that left-hand side. Cut back, Arfield just misses. Wonderful defending with Cochrane.
Wright plays the ball back in the middle. Lundstrom gets the header on. Kent is there wide outside the box. Right hand side, lifts it in. Again Rolls with a header to try and get the ball away, and then it's not clear by Forrest. 48,376 inside this famous old ground. First played on in 1899. As the ball gets played back once more by Rangers, who lead by 1-0. Crucial goal. Malik Tillman, the goal scorer. A 4th of the season for him. As Rangers, Lundstrom rather strangely knocks the ball out of play on that far side. So it's been a good night for Dundee United so far. Celtic leading by 1-0. Kyogo. They had a second ruled off VAR for offside. St Mirren, St Johnstone 1 apiece. St Johnstone down to 10 here at Ibrox. Hearts have played well. They are finding themselves down by 1-0. And it's a Rangers side unbeaten at home this season in the league. Ball played forward onto Mackay. Mackay takes the touch. Tavernier though robs him. Plays it round the corner to Morelos. Morelos off to Arfield. Arfield is to stop before he plays it wide onto Kent. Up at the edge of the area. Kent. Lovely little overlap. That could be a penalty. Josh Ginnelly with a little shove in the back. The referee says no. Barisic was coming round the corner. Kenny?
100% he's pushed them. I just don't know if it's enough to give him the penalty. You could see it. They were in a leg race for about 40 yards out, Paul. Barisic got the run on Ginnelly, and he was on the inside. Ginnelly was giving it everything to try and keep up with him, and he was always going to come off second best. So when the ball was played to Barisic, he had the run, he had the position. There was definitely a push. Obviously they're not even having a look, or they've looked at it and they've thought that it was the correct decision. I just don't know. Maybe Barisic went over too easily. Could have been better safe trying to stay up and flash another one of these dangerous balls across the goal.
Well, you are taking a chance as a defending player doing that. It's Tavernier, picks up, plays it out wide onto Scott Wright. Rangers ahead by 1-0. Tillman outside the box, right hand side. The goal scorer is there, up against Rogue. Stands, tries to get the ball across. It's a low ball in, turned in by Morelos, straight though at Craig Gordon. And Morelos, who's got 10 goals in 13 against Hearts, could have made it number 11 and put this game beyond the men from Tynecastle. Didn't get the power he needed.
You know, he got enough on it. I don't know if the defender's just done enough. Maybe got a little bit of a block on the shot just to deflect it towards Craig Gordon. But you just get the sense that the second's coming for Rangers. They're just piling on the pressure. They've created a couple of really good opportunities and positions over the last 2 or 3 minutes. They seem quite comfortable at the moment. Hearts, we're not really seeing Hearts that much as an attacking force since the Mallet Tillman goal.
So the ball gets played back onto Tavernier. Tavernier on the inside, on to Ben Davis. Both sides have scored in 7 of the last 15 meetings. Rangers have scored now in 15 of the last 16. Usually find a way when they have that goal. Hearts trying to find a way to get back on level terms. Here's Cammy Devlin. In less than 2 weeks could be lining up against France in the opening game for Australia in their World Cup group, which also includes Tunisia and Denmark. Hearts play the ball back onto Craig Gordon. Gordon steps from his goal, plays it forward. Wrestling for it is Shanklin. Shanklin lays the ball back onto Devlin inside his own half. Devlin looks, plays the ball back onto Sibic. Sibic sends it out wide onto Alan Forrest, away from Lindstrom. Out wide onto Ginnelly, more traditional winger at the moment. Ginnelly trying to get past his man, he does so, then gets past Tillman as well. Still going, Ginnelly gets past a third player, but he might run into Scott Wright, who does enough. It took 4 Rangers players to get the ball, but they've got it. Now the tackles are sliding in. Ginnelly missed right, Snodgrass didn't. Rangers go backwards rather than go forwards. That's the booing on the far side. Hearts are going to make a couple of changes, getting ready down below us. Rangers again concede possession on the halfway line. Hearts have it. Devlin goes down. That's going to be a free kick, so we can go to Fir Park. And Jane Lewis.
This is an absolutely enthralling game at this one, Paul. You just can't keep your eyes off it. Celtic missed a glorious chance to make it 2-0 just a few minutes ago. Lovely ball in. Giacomakis raced onto it. The ball in, played in from the right, but he just couldn't finish off. And then just about a minute later, Louis Moult header was well blocked. And then Stephen O'Donnell shot just wide. Motherwell are growing into this game. In this second half, in the last 15-20 minutes or so, they have shown a lot of attacking intent. They've made changes. Moult is on, as I mentioned. Tierney is on too, and they've won a few free kicks as well, 25-30 yards out. Sean Goss has put in some decent deliveries, but so far not able to taking advantage of that. But I tell you what, you would not be surprised if they got back into this game, but equally you would not be surprised if Celtic were to add to their tally. Such is this game. It is entertainment to the end.
I wait to be surprised, Jane. 1-0 Celtic there. Hearts are making changes. Devlin, Kilmore-Soglu comes on, and Ewan Henderson is also on the field of play. So Hearts making the changes, and they will certainly move things a little bit more up front. So Henderson, certainly interesting just to see what he can bring. As Hearts have that free kick, Josh Ginnelly is the other player giving way. Now Hearts play the ball forward, up towards Shanklin, throws the ball back, Kyle Rose. It was just tugged there by Morelos. Snodgrass plays the ball back onto Sibic. Sibic just outside his own box. Kilmore-Soglu gathers again, plays back inside. Rangers leading by 1-0. St Mirren, St Johnstone 1 apiece. St Johnstone down to 10. Now long ball looking for Ewan Henderson. Henderson takes the touch. Tavernier gets in front of him on the edge of the 18-yard box. The ball runs through onto Alan McGregor. Ewan Henderson's a young player, just 7th appearance off the bench this season, but he's looked good when he's come on. Tavernier brings the ball forward up to Scott Wright. Wright under pressure, goes down, gets himself back up, and the referee gives the free kick. And Robbie Nielsen, I think, is a little bit upset. One or two of the free kicks Hearts haven't got, but these are the way that the game goes. Rangers looking dangerous. I think you nailed it. Arfield and Wright have changed the game.
Arfield's been great, you know, his movement's excellent. I mean, you sometimes don't see a lot of him get involved in the game, but his movement off the ball, the positions that he picks up, you've seen him already with a couple of wee one-touch lays off for Tola and Morelos since Morelos has came on. Just a really clever player.
Now the ball comes out wide onto Arfield. Arfield down the middle. Kilmore-Soglu sends the ball away, and it's knocked out of play on this near side. Time just started to creep away from Hearts. 11.5 minutes to play here at Ibrox.
And it looks like Henderson's going to go and do the Ginnelly role for maybe the last 12 minutes of the game. Shanklin's taking that little bit more, that withdrawn role just off Henderson, who's going to look to stretch the game like he did just a minute ago there. I did think he was offside, and I was waiting for the flag to go up, but the ball went safely through Alan McGregor.
Long ball by Rangers up to Rose at the edge of the area. Lundstrom knocks the ball down. It's won by Arfield. Arfield gets away from Snodgrass, who's then fouled as Tavernier gets the ball, played it forward. Morelos calls for Wright to take it, and then that's a free kick. Well, Kiermouth's all got it taken out. Lundstrom brings the ball forward, blocked by Cochrane, comes inside, knocked away by Smith, up towards the halfway line to Shankland, out wide to the left-hand side to Barry Mackay, and Mackay brings it back down to Cochrane. Cochrane plays the ball forward, up towards Shankland, halfway line, trying to play it off Tavernier to win the throw. It played it off Tavernier, went over the head of King, he won it again, played it forward. Henderson's back heel is outrageous, picked up by Forrest. Forrest plays it out wide onto Henderson. Davis bites early, Henderson tries to go on the outside, gets a low ball in, it's touched back, almost Kiermouth's over. Alan Forrest with a shot, edge of the area, knocked away well by Rangers. It was good play by King, right place at the right time, and now Rangers try and bring the ball away, but it's Morelos pulls the ball back rather than goes forward, and it's worked because it's Lundstrom who picks up, plays it to Tillman, the only goal scorer in the game so far, out wide on that far side. It's been a terrific game to watch, both teams going toe to toe. There's been mistakes, there's been flubs and slips, but there's also been some excellent football. That's Ryan Kent, the architect of the goal. He gathers out wide on that far side, 15 yards from the corner flag, left hand side, drops inside to Barisic to right, 20 yards from goal, sends it across looking for Arfield. They'll come on to Mackay. Mackay tries to take it past Tavernier, hits it off Tavernier, goes behind. It is going to be a goal kick to Hearts. 9.5 minutes to play here at Ibrox Sports Sound, BBC Radio Scotland. Rangers 1, Hearts 0.
Yeah, and that last passage you play with Hearts was probably their best move of the second half. Henderson, Shankland, Forrest all getting involved. Henderson eventually breaks out down the left hand side beyond Leon King. Flashes a cut back across, and King just actually got the toe on it just to block it towards to Keogh, who let a shot go, but it was never ever going to trouble the Rangers defence for the distance it was.
Hearts gather outside their own box. Morelos is strong against Rose. He's won it. He's going to go into the area. Flashes it across. Arfield couldn't control it, and Hearts get the ball away through Sibic. If he controlled that, Scott Arfield, it would have been through. Goal at Fir Park. Jane Lewis.
Yeah, there absolutely has been a lovely ball played by David Turnbull, just over the top really, out to the left-hand side. Maida was completely on his own and just raced through and coolly slotted past Liam Kelly. David Turnbull, of course, on his return to Fir Park, he has come on as a substitute and he's made his mark. So too has Dyson Maida, celebrating his call-up to the Japanese World Cup squad in style with a goal here this evening. It's now 2-0 to Celtic.
21st appearance of the season, goal number 4 for the Japanese. Here Hearts have come forward, so Celtic have clinched that one. Rangers haven't put this one to bed just yet. Hearts are looking to try and get back on level terms. Alan Forrest tries to goes on the outside. Tillman is back outside the box, left hand side, turns, spins, gets the ball away. There's been a goal at Paisley. Martin Dowden.
It's a goal for St Mirren. It's St Mirren 2, St Johnstone 1. And what an absolute cracker it was. The ball fell outside the box. The captain, Mark O'Hara, he took his time and absolutely drilled one high into the net. St Mirren 2, St Johnstone 1.
Joins Jonah Younga as 5 goals. St Mirren's top goal scorer. One of the most underrated players, I think, in the Scottish Premiership, Mark O'Hara. St Mirren unbeaten now in the last 6 at home. Will make it 7 against St Johnstone. It's a fixture they've dominated 1-3 and drawn 3. Here, Civic's dwelling on the ball, just manages to drag away Kent, but he's conceded the free kick right in the middle of the field. And Rangers thought about taking it quickly. Also, they wanted a yellow card to come out. And basically Barisic is saying that's exactly the same as happened earlier when Kent got booked, and Barisic is continuing to complain. John Beaton's tolerance level will not be any higher than it is, and Barisic has talked his way into the book.
It's just absolutely ridiculous. John Lundstrom's had 3 goes at trying to get Barisic away, because you can see what's coming. The one thing I'll just say going into this last 5 minutes or 6 minutes, Paul, is that Rangers have had so many opportunities on these counters that they've not made the most of it. I just hope it doesn't pay at the end of this game.
Rangers looking for a second up at the edge of the area. Tavernier plays it in. Hearts head the ball away. It's been a goal at Fir Park. Jane Lewis.
Yeah, there certainly has. No sooner had Celtic gone 2-0. Motherwell are back in this game. It's now 2-1, and it's one of the substitutes, Ross Tierney, who's come on. There was a bit of confusion in the box, and Tierney pounced and completely beat Joe Hart from close range to put Motherwell back in this game. 2-1, Celtic lead at Fir Park.
Well, it's not all over there. It's not all over here either. Morelos tried to step his way forward and just blasted the ball over the top of the bar. Glenn Kamara's going to come on for Marcus Tillman, and at the moment Kenny Miller, he has the sole goal of this game.
He has. I think he had a positive first half, really taking the ball, trying to be creative. Could have had a couple of opportunities at goal, chose not to shoot at that moment. Got himself on the end of the only goal of the game. A wonderful finish. Just done enough. Got a really strong right foot side of his right foot on the ball, right at Craig Gordon's feet, right about the goalkeeper's feet. Always hard to save. I think it did go through his legs. He's had a positive game for Rangers. I think the reason he's come off is because every time he seems to get the ball since, he's slowed the game up. You can sense the Rangers fans want him to go forward at pace to try and go and put this game out of sight.
Glenn Kamara off the bench, 9th time this season, as Rangers lead by 1-0. Rain continues to fall. It has done throughout the game as Hearts try and come forward. That's the maroon jerseys, right to left. Watches Sibic, gets the header on, flicked on. Kilmore-Zoglu tries to go after it again. It's Arfield who wins it, sends it down the side. There's no Ryan Kent that time. He drifted inside. The ball's not going to run out of play, so Sibic has to play it, launches it long. Henderson can't get the head on it, comes back in onto King, and King will play it back onto Alan McGregor. McGregor sends the ball long over the halfway line, taken down on the chest by Sibic. Sibic almost gives it away, has done, onto Ryan Kent, up by the centre circle, plays it through onto Kamara. Kamara to Morelos, who looked offside, going to continue. Morelos sends it wide, then the flag goes up. It wouldn't have mattered, wasn't going to count, but if you're Alfredo Morelos, Kenny Miller, you want to stick that away. Yeah, it was a good opportunity for him. He did look offside, to be honest with you, but he got a little break of the ball off the Hearts defender. Felt kindly for him, edge of the 18-yard box, just trying to guide it into Craig Gordon's left-hand corner. Just never got enough bend, never wrapped the foot around it enough, and just went past the post. Offside anyway, wouldn't have counted. Hearts send it long by Smith. Henderson is chasing. Davis wins the header. There's nobody in behind for Hearts. The ball doesn't run out of play. Forrest has to go and get it. Kilmore-Zoglu gathers, plays it back out wide to Forrest. Forrest trying to drive in at the edge of the box. Alan Forrest lays it back to Smith. Smith into the middle. Shanklin almost in there. Tavernier has to jab the ball away down the middle, and Glenn Kamara superbly away from Kilmore-Zoglu. Now he's up towards the halfway line. Morelos is making a run. Kamara plays it through for him. Morelos on that far side. The flag has stayed down. Morelos inside the area up against Rose. Rose dispossesses him and keeps the ball from running for a corner. Morelos slow to get back up, and Hearts coming again. Robbie Nielsen yelling at his men, try and bring it forward. It's 1-0 to the home side. Rangers leading here. Celtic leading by 2-1 at Fir Park. Motherwell have thrown a goal back there. Dundee United leading Kilmarnock by 4-0, and St Mirren 2, St Johnstone 1. Another great night of action here on BBC Radio Scotland. If I'm correct, Ryan Kent has been given man of the match, and as the ball gets flicked forward and Hearts try to gather. There are 5 additional minutes at Fir Park. We'll keep you right up to date with anything that happens there. Here at Ibrox, time ticking away. 4.5 minutes still to play of normal time here. Lundstrom tries to go through. Lovely little nutmeg by Henderson. Henderson almost taken out by King. Hearts come forward through Mackay. Mackay plays it back out wide. Henderson. Tavernier opens up, tried to get there. Sliding in went Henderson. The ball goes behind. Great defending by Tavernier. It's a yellow card for the youngster Leon King, and it's a good call by the referee for the yellow card and allowed play to continue as well. Nearly 88 minutes gone now here. Time ticking away. I'm just happy for Leon King that never led to a really good chance, because it's another one of these decisions where he comes rushing out of his back line, steams into a tackle that he didn't need to make, and left a big old space for Barry Mackay to try and feed through to Ewan Henderson. Obviously it came to nothing, but it's these little decisions. Playing at the Rangers first team, you need to get these decisions right more often than not. Yeah, it's certainly a learning point. I'm sure that will be shown back to him. There's a little chat from the coaching staff as Hearts had the ball on the halfway line. Ryan Kent won it. Kilmore-Zoglu sends it out of play. Rangers unbeaten at home in the Scottish Premiership this season. They're on the verge of their 8th win. They dropped 2 points against Livingston, although you could argue they rescued one, scoring at the death. 22 goals to 3. They're outscoring people here on this ground. Hearts looking for a goal, but it's Rangers who have the ball on that far side. This could be a big result for Giovanni Van Bronckhorst. Could not afford anything but 3 points. Robbie Nielsen certainly should be happy enough with the way his side played. And now long on the angle, looking for Scott Wright. It's going to take a bounce and go behind. 89 minutes now on the clock. Eyes moving towards Stephen Kirkland, the fourth official, to see how much additional time can Hearts fashion a chance. They've not put enough pressure on Alan McGregor in the second half. Now it's been launched long on that far side, takes a bounce, go out of play. Stephen Kirkland has the board in hand, in his left hand, not holding it up just yet. Going to be a throw to Rangers on that far side. David Room, the assistant referee, doing a little bit of keepy-uppy before playing the ball forward. It's got a nice touch, and Rangers throw the ball in. It's just knocked off Morelos. Hearts have it, sends it up to the halfway line. Little late ball back, but Rangers will pick up through Tavernier. That's going to be too long. Let's go to Fir Park. Jane Lewis.
Yeah, still 2-1 to Celtic in this one. The clock is ticking down. We've reached the 90 minutes. I've not seen a minute's added on time, but you would imagine there's been a few VAR checks, so there might 5 minutes added on. I've just been told it in my ear. Thank you for that. But yeah, there has been a few VAR checks in this one. But Celtic just making heavy weather of this the last couple of minutes. Plenty of attacking intent, as you would imagine, but just no finishing in front of goal. Motherwell have got back into the game, and how. There's certainly be plenty of positives for Stevie Hamill to take from this one, but it's Celtic and their fans behind that goal there who are in full voice here and leading this one by 2-1 with the clock ticking down.
3 additional minutes to be played at Ibrox. Rangers 1, Hearts 0. Dundee United 4, Killie 0. St Mirren leads St Johnstone 2-1. Long ball into the box. Hearts might fall for Henderson. Gets the shot and got the ball away. Lundstrom tried to close him down. Alan McGregor is yelling at the attacking players for giving the ball away so easily. Ewan Henderson looks to the heavens. Just didn't sit down for him, Kenny Miller, and he lashed it over the top.
No, it didn't. For a second there that you thought Ewan Henderson was going to get in. He chose to try and leave it for his strike partner Shankland. Once it got defended, it fell really kindly for him on the volley. It was going to take an incredible effort on the volley to beat Alan McGregor for there, but you'd expected him with the technique that he's got to get it a little bit better towards the goal than he did. He gets it all wrong, catches it with the side of his foot, high and wide over Alan McGregor's goal, and it just relieves a bit of pressure, allows Rangers to put it forward and try and see this game out.
As I mentioned, 3 additional minutes. We've not had any obvious VAR checks or stoppages. Football the old-fashioned way. Full time at Tannadice. What a win for Dundee United by 4-0. Hearts having to defend here as the ball gets played away by Cochrane. Drops back onto Lundstrom. Lundstrom gets the ball away. Time ticking away for Hearts at the moment. It's Tavernier. Brings the ball forward onto Kamara. Through onto right. Here's a chance for Rangers, but Hearts have it. Kiermont Zogler sends the ball out wide onto Barry Mackay. Mackay sends it down the line. Rangers are there. And, well, Leon King just thumps the ball away. There's no other description for it. Just making sure.
No nonsense, that ball.
Yep, Hearts can't score from their own penalty area. It's good thinking. But now can Hearts get the ball forward? Hearts have scored in the last 5 games. They've also conceded in the last 5 now. Conceded in the last 6. Can they find a way in stoppage time? Alan Forrest up at the edge of the area. Great tracking back. Again, it's that man Arfield. Does the job. Now the long ball launched forward towards Morelos. Rolls. Wins the header, sends it on to Snodgrass. Snodgrass wins the throw for his side, just brushed it off Arfield. Hearts have a throw on the halfway line. Thrown in and back. Hearts need to get this ball forward. Celtic have won by 2-1 this evening. Rangers leading by 1-0 here against Hearts at Ibrox. Cochrane sends the ball down the side, looking for Henderson. Henderson gets the touch and then overruns it, knocks it out of play. Rangers are nearly there. Well, Rangers have dominated Hearts in recent times. Hearts' last win at Ibrox 2014 came from behind to do so. They're not going to do that tonight. The Scottish Premiership win at Ibrox was a 2-1 win, also coming from behind. Black and Hamill, but tonight it is all about Rangers. Giovanni Van Bronckhorst said it was a must-win game, and his side have delivered. Hearts played really well. Kyle Rose outstanding at the back. Ginnelly caused all sorts of problems, but in the end it was Malik Tillman's goal. Great play from Kent, sent it out wide to Barisic, drilled it into the middle, and Tillman met it perfectly. All 3 points will stay at Ibrox. It's finished Rangers 1, Hearts 0.
The Scottish Premier.